Homes.com has collaboration tools to help home shoppers search, share, and discuss home shopping with family, friends, and their agent directly through the site. Though it was fun to get that email from your husband about that 3-bedroom in the hills, to which you replied via text that you would never live in the hills and you'd like to find a 3-bedroom closer to the beach. To which he replied, "Why are you so uncompromising?" A fun way to spend an afternoon, but we think it's just a tad bit easier our way. Homes.com. Ding dong. We've done your homework.
Cash in on the nostalgia with Barron's Payback Program. Your old system has history. Your new one has savings. Get $110 for each year of your old equipment's age. Get up to $5,000 in savings with a high-efficiency heat pump upgrade. Plus, one customer wins a free system install and another wins a free water heater. But don't wait too long. Barron's Payback Program ends February 28th. Call Barron Home Services today. No purchase necessary. Visit barronheating.com for details.
On Aspire with Emma Greed, we talk about mindset, ambition, and the work that actually moves the needle. Listen to Aspire with Emma Greed, available where you get your podcasts.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, there's a saying out there, curiosity killed the cat. Well, it sucks to be a cat. Meanwhile, curiosity sent the kid to the hospital. Now, that will be true as long as there are kids in hospitals. For example, a little boy in China, he needed medical assistance after he was curious to see what would happen if you clamp a padlock to your nose. And what he discovered was that you need the fire department and metal shears to remove it. In Colorado, a 4-year-old girl, she was curious what would happen if she swallowed a button battery. Well, what she and her parents discovered is that when the battery mixes with saliva, it triggers a chemical reaction that burns your internal organs, and then you need surgery. Yeah, it earned you a trip to the hospital. Now, in addition to batteries, you know what else you shouldn't swallow? Hand sanitizer. Now, I know you know that. Do your kids know that? Because according to the CDC, 70,000 kids drink hand sanitizer over a 3-year period. It turns out that's toxic. And you know what else is toxic? Fumes from a burning home. But in this case, a 4-year-old playing with fire, he did not ingest any of the toxic fumes. He just burned down the family's house and took out 2 pets along with it. But again, this is what kids do. Kids are mischievous, kids are dangerous, but overall, kids are curious. And look, you were a kid once, or maybe you have kids now, and you're going through it yourself. But that's what leads us to today's question. Brought to you by our friends at Advanced Hair Restoration. We want to know, either you growing up or your own kids, when did curiosity go sideways?
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live. Send your emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com. And now watch the show live on YouTube at KISW Rock.
Homes.com is the only place where you can find specialized neighborhood guides with the in-depth insider info home shoppers want. Very in-depth info. Want to know if there's homes for sale in the area? We've got it. How long has a home been on the market? We'll know it. Average lot size? Proximity to local parks? Of course. Insight into your neighbor's divorce? We're working on it. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Cash in on the nostalgia with Barron's Payback Program. Your old system has history. Your new one has savings. Get $110 for each year of your old equipment's age. Get up to $5,000 in savings with a high-efficiency heat pump upgrade. Plus, one customer wins a free system install and another wins a free water heater. But don't wait too long. Barron's Payback Program ends February 28th. Call Barron Home Services today. No purchase necessary. Visit barronheating.com for details.
I'm Emma Greed, host of Aspire with Emma Greed, a podcast where I sit down with people who don't just dream big, they build big. From culture-shaping voices like Mel Robbins to leaders redefining success like Tracy Ellis Ross to game-changing entrepreneurs like Mark Cuban. Aspire is about mindset, ambition, and doing the work that actually moves the needle. If you're ready to raise your standards and take charge about the life and career you're building, Aspire is where you start. Follow and listen to Aspire with me, Emma Greed, an Odyssey podcast available wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to The Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
All of it, Charles, away we go. Welcome to the 21st Amendment season, episode number 4,463. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. The exciting return of Who Sucks Less coming up at 4:30. Steve, I don't know how you do it. You find people in the news are doing bad things. You bring us 3 stories each and every week. It's up to us to determine, out of the 3 stories, which one sucks the least. Is there a theme to this week's Who Sucks Less?
From the outside looking in, you might think it's Cars for Kids. That is not true. I hate the jingle enough. I wouldn't do that to you. However, with the stories, we do have kids, then we got more kids, and then we got cars, but not Cars for Kids.
Okay.
Just want to be very clear about that.
Who Sucks Less is coming up at 4:30 on the program.
Not
by the
Cars
way,
for Kids.
Yeah.
No, listen, man. It's a great charity, but everyone hates the jingle.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
everyone
fact.
hates the jingle. I almost want to Google, like, the kids that were in that commercial, what are they doing now? Mm-hmm. Are they like, man, everybody hates me, but it's all adults? I don't know.
That'd be an interesting follow-up.
I mean, it's just one of those things, and as a bass player, it drives me crazy. I know you're not playing the bass, and I know they're not playing their instrument.
I'm not a bass player.
Put in some effort.
That's right.
And that drum, you're not holding the beat. And the kid on the keyboard, what are you doing? Just act like you're playing the song. If we have to listen to that freaking song to do some good, can you put some ass into the effort, man? You know,
Maybe they should do a new version of it.
I'm just saying. Do some finger action on the bass and guitar, so you're done.
It's already stuck in your head.
It is stuck in my head, and
So,
I know that
they already
freaking
did they already did their job.
their job.
They did their job.
It's not that; it's the kids. Like, come on, man, fake it better.
Also, thanks to everyone who's been checking us out on YouTube. We are up to about 4,300 subscribers, believe it or not.
No, it's 4,290. I don't.
Do us a favor and subscribe there. You can find us KISW Rock. There's a comment section on there. We read a lot of those comments as the show goes on. Appreciate everybody who chimes in. And as we like to say, if you could, please smash the like burger. Give us a thumbs up there so the people at YouTube know that we're doing a hell of a job. And maybe they'll advertise it.
Or something. I don't know what it means.
What's the deal? But live on YouTube. Okay, on our question today, we're going to talk about growing up. And either you are the person who was responsible for this, maybe it's one of your own children. But we all know, oftentimes, when kids' curiosity can go sideways. And believe it or not, scientists have actually come up with a formula for children. Now, look, we all do ridiculous things at different ages.
Sure.
Some of us mature faster than others. Some of us just don't have the best decision-making skills in the world.
But a lot of times, I feel like as a teenager, you know better.
Right.
It's the thrill of the fill in the blank.
Yeah.
It's stupid, right?
Yeah.
But as a little kid, they just don't know.
No, you don't know. You don't know what you're getting into.
That's why they eat Tide. They don't need a TikTok challenge. They eat a Tide Pod because it looks like Aquafresh. And
That's
you're like,
why.
oh my
look,
God.
A lot of older siblings, they will do this to you. They will put you in situations where they know damn well if you are dumb enough to believe this,
Yes.
and you're dumb enough to go through with this, then they can laugh. They got you, but they put you in a situation that probably could get you injured or
It at least hurts.
whatever the deal is.
Even if you don't get injured, you're probably going to shed tears because it hurt like a bitch, right?
But they
Or they dare you to do stuff, and you kind of get in trouble.
right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They know you will.
Yeah.
They did a study over in England. They were looking for the most mischievous kid in all of England.
Okay.
They found her, all right? Basically, parents submitted, and then people voted online as far as what their kids had done. That was just like, geez, whiz, man, you got to be kidding me, including multiple pictures. So parents have shared some of the most hilarious and cringeworthy situations they found themselves in, all thanks to their mischievous children. One parent revealed how their child managed to walk all the way to school with his mom's underwear worn over his trousers. In another instance, the contents of the salt and sugar containers were swapped, leading to an unexpectedly salty morning coffee. Now, despite a quarter of
That's
parents
a power move, and I still enjoy it.
admitting to feeling frustrated, research has found that laughter is the most common reaction to these antics. Ultimately, most parents see their child's mischief behavior as a good thing, believing it encourages curiosity and adventureness. Now, if you read a lot of people's biographies, autobiographies, the ones that seem to be more creative,
Yeah.
the ones that seem to just have a little bit more spark, are the ones that admit that they were mischievous children growing up.
Absolutely.
Just trying to get into everything, trying to figure stuff out. The study was commissioned to find UK's most mischievous child. And of the 1,000 parents with children aged between 3 and 11 surveyed, it was found that children are the most mischievous at what age, Ted? 8. Correct answer is 4.
Oh,
With
wow.
59% of parents claiming their 4-year-olds are up to antics. They just want to see what they can get away with.
Well, look, they finally nailed what walking is. They have finally nailed language, but now they can do things like climb, right? So all the things I used to hide from my kids when they were, say, 2 years old, just by putting it on a higher shelf. Well, they can get up there now.
Yeah.
And then they get into it. And you really like, this is why I did not want you to get into it. And typically they discover that's why we kept it out of
Also-
reach. And now there is a quote-unquote situation that we have to deal with.
And as parents at this age, and why you're laughing at this behavior is because they're right on that cusp of really being able to comprehend and understand what you're trying to tell them.
Exactly.
But on the same token, you realize, like, look, this is a child. If they're 7 or 8, you have a different conversation than you do with a 4-year-old.
For sure.
Because an 8-year-old is going to be able to take this information in and hopefully not repeat the same behavior.
And generally speaking, like, I know you know. You know, 4,
right.
I know you didn't know. So
But-
you do have a different conversation. But by 8, like, come on, man. We're teetering on that line now.
They say the increase of mischief making among 3 to 5-year-olds goes hand in hand with children of this age becoming wise to the theory of mind, that the thoughts in their heads are not the same as the thoughts in ours. They are experimenting with the juggling act of pulling the wool over someone's eyes. But despite this being a sign of healthy curiosity, parents obviously don't want things to get out of control. Now, Ted, when you were growing up, you told the story one time about, since it is snowing on the East Coast, you and your brother went out into the yard and you built an igloo.
Correct.
Yeah, which is a cool thing to do. As a matter of fact, growing up, a brand called KTEL.
Oh, with their block thing? Yeah.
They used to have little skis that you could use.
That's
if you
what we
were-
used.
If you weren't rich.
Use the block?
Yeah, we had that block. That's how we built the igloo.
You had a
It's
KTEL
KTEL's way
block.
of saying, you know, we might kill your
Right.
children,
Make
but
it
they'll
igloo.
have fun dying.
But you really could. You could really build an igloo fairly efficiently.
that's what you did.
And it was a cool looking deal. Now, you and your brother built an igloo. Then what happened?
Well, I'm trying to look it up. So I think it was right. I think it was 1987. Right, that Veterans Day.
So you're
storm
7
in
years
DC.
old.
Right, 6 or 7. My brother's a little bit older, so we built the igloo. First thing was my mom said, "Don't break the what do you call, like a big spoon with slats in it?
Big spoon with
You know what I mean?
slats.
Not like a ladle, but like you'd use it to like pull out stuff.
Like pull out your pasta
Like a
kind of thing?
spatula?
Somewhere
But it
between a
has the
spatula, but
holes.
it's a spoon.
Yeah, I got you.
she-
It's like
but
a pasta
bigger.
spoon.
Oh, I know.
So
Yeah.
we were using those. She said, "Don't break those." We broke those, and then once we built it enough that we got in there, and then we said, "Hey, we should build a fire so we stay warm." In
Did you put a hole in the top?
We did not.
Okay.
We didn't think about igloos having chimneys,
Yeah, yeah.
so we dug down enough to get to the grass and the leaves. 'Cause remember, this was in November, and then we lit the fire, and it seemed like we couldn't get out quick
Were
enough.
you sitting in there when you lit the fire?
Correct.
And how did you make the fire?
I can't,
Do you remember?
Remember, so Chris is 7 years, so he's like 14. He must have got a lighter from somewhere or matches, but basically we almost killed ourselves with smoke inhalation.
It
Yeah.
blows my mind that at 14 he did not think
Right.
of it. Like at your age, I go like, right, that sounds like something that a kid would do. And at 14, right, you do dumb stuff.
You
but-
got to keep in mind, though. I mean, this is remembering back on that age, but it seemed like it had taken us hours to build this thing.
Oh, yeah,
right?
of course.
And I mean, we had it secure. I mean, I want to say it took days, if not weeks, for that thing to melt, even though the rest of the snow had melted.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we almost killed ourselves.
Yeah.
Not a good look.
Good
not
times.
not a good look.
Well, I'm just still imagining somebody walking by and there's just two idiots running out of an igloo and then
With smoke pouring out, yeah.
Well, my thing was just what I saw and what I believed to be perfectly normal. So when I was a kid, 5 or 6 years old, I think I was in first or second grade, which is probably 1976, somewhere in there. But they would show, believe it or not, The Little Rascals was a show that
they were great.
They had on reruns, and they came on after school and all this stuff. And one of the things about The Little Rascals, I don't remember a lot about the show, but I do remember that one of the things that they loved to do was play hooky. Mm-hmm. So I knew that playing hooky meant that you were going to skip out on school.
And have a very good time.
Yes, you were. And there were no ramifications for
At
the
all.
Little Rascals when they played hooky. Like, you never saw their parents scolding them.
Not once.
You never saw them getting in trouble for
Nope,
this.
didn't matter what they did.
In my
They
world-
might piss off other people, like the local baker, but they would just run away and laugh, and the baker never really gave chase. So it's like what they do is very cool,
Right.
and acceptable.
So we had lunch/recess. So it was like 45 minutes. As soon as you were done with your lunch, you could go outside and you could play.
Right.
So we ate like there was 8 siblings in the house. I mean, we just woofed everything down.
Sure.
And then we go outside in the playground, throw football, whatever, Nerf football and all that crap. There was a house that was 2 houses down from the elementary school that I went to, Suncrest. And it was an abandoned home. No one lived there. No windows, no doors. It was it was an empty structure. The lot was for sale. It was just an old house.
All right.
But it was otherwise a decent neighborhood. It was just one of those old houses, like an old craftsman that had been taken care of.
Sure.
So at one point in time on the playground, my buddy Zach and I, who we would hang out after school, we decided it was our turn to play hooky.
Sure.
So, but we did not. We knew we did not want to go home because we wanted to go out and explore and do stuff.
Yeah.
So we started walking down the road, and there's this house. We're like, we should finally go in there and see what's going on. So we went down into the basements. We combed the entire home. We were opening up all the cabinets, all the doors. There was stuff in there, like old cans of coffee with nails in it and all that crap, stuff that people left behind. But at that point in time, we determined we're not going back to school. We're playing hooky. Mm-hmm. We are staying in this home. So when we don't show up for class, obviously the first people that gets a call are all of our parents, be it the moms, dads,
of course,
everybody. There was one other kid with us, and I cannot remember his name.
And you don't even know that you're worrying people.
No,
that's all.
That's the big thing.
Yes,
but Miles is right. The way the Little Rascals came off, even if they had an episode where one parent said, "Oh my God, where have you been?" Maybe it changes your perspective. But on that show, no matter what they did, there truly were no ramifications other than belly laughs from everyone involved.
Also, time was not something that we were aware of. So once we got done with that house, then we walked down probably at least a mile to a place called Dairy Mart, which was our version of a local 7-Eleven.
Sure.
This is the place that had the Slurpees. This is the place that had baseball cards, candy, all those things. And we did have a little bit of money. So our goal was we're going to go down there, buy some gum or whatever we're going to do.
Yeah.
This is just going to be part of the adventure. So, we've got our backpacks. We've got everything going.
What grade are you again?
First or second grade. I cannot remember. I know it wasn't in third because we moved.
Yeah.
So I went to school there 2 years. So we go down there. At this point in time, school is over. The buses have come. The kids have gone home. They have started walking home from school, all these things. But we are kind of so far out. We just don't know. Our parents are absolutely losing their mind.
Of course.
The teachers are looking for us. They have combed the perimeter of the school. The principal is involved. They made a call to the police department because at the time, believe it or not, kidnapping was a little bit more of a high alert thing. I don't know why, but it was.
Well, it was a fear. There was like quicksand, Bermuda Triangle. If your kid's not home, they have been kidnapped. That's it.
Right.
No other alternative. That's what must have happened.
Yeah. Now, at this point in time, there's also a kind of a shortcut that we could take home that goes through a park. This park's got a pool in it. I believe the pool was closed probably for the winter, whatever the deal is. But they had an amazing slide, jungle gym, all these things. It was a county pool and a county park. So we stayed there for another hour or so.
Right.
And at some point in time, someone says, you know what? We should probably just get home. This was a great day. We didn't go to school. Blah, blah,
Great
blah.
day, fellas.
When I walked up, so Zach and I lived 2 houses apart from each other. When we start walking down the road, I will never forget this. We see all these cop cars. There are parents outside. Believe it or not, we did not see any of these people, but there was a neighborhood search party going on, walking around trying to find us when word got spread that there's 3 kids in the neighborhood. They did not show back up from school.
Right.
They are lost. Now, in my mind, I'm like, okay, what's going on? Did something bad happen? We still did. It still did not click in that we were the reason.
Yeah.
And so we started running toward the homes because we thought something bad had happened at our house. And so we run up to the cop car. There's my mom out front. My stepfather's out front. He's still in a suit from work. Everybody is just in a tizzy.
He probably had to leave work.
He did have to leave.
I guarantee he did.
He did have to leave work. And, I remember my mom is running up to me and giving me this big hug, like, where were you? What are you doing? And I was like, we just played hooky.
Right.
And she's like, oh, Jesus Christ. What, you've got to be kidding me. Like, no, we want to play hooky like the Little Rascals.
Throw them under the bus.
Yeah. And we still did not know that was wrong. Mm. And we still did not know that, with the panic that we had ensued on our parents, on our teachers, on all these people who were trying to find us. We just thought we were going to have a good afternoon and go out, and we didn't have to go back to school for the afternoon.
And that's why they changed the shows they put on later. They did. Sir, like Sesame Street had an episode years and years and years ago, and the kids are singing and dancing, and they're being good kids, all right? But as they're singing whatever their highbrow song is, they wander to, I don't know if it's abandoned or if it's as close to the weekend, but it's a construction site. And so the kids are and they're playing with like the saw, the hammer. Again, this is Sesame Street. There are no adults there. And they're dancing around having fun. And when I was in Colorado, it was a fairly new housing development. And long story short, a lot of houses were still being built. We're thinking back to Sesame Street. So we were good with all the tools. The one thing they had there was scaffolding, you see, because they're building the second level. That was the first time I saw an ambulance. Scott Forsythe fell off of the scaffolding. He was 7 or 8, just like I was, but he fell off the scaffolding, kind of scraped his back on some of the rebar on the way down. So he had this big gouge cut out of his back, but we're little kids. He is screaming at the top of his lungs. In our opinion, he's bleeding out. He wasn't. He was just bleeding a lot, but we just see like a pool of blood under him. No cell phones, so we got to run home. It's maybe 7, 8 blocks. I live the closest. I'm all out of breath. Telling my mother, hey, and there was no 911. So you have to call the ambulance, right?
Yeah.
It's a different thing. And she's like, oh, my God, what happened? I told her. She's looking like, what? So her and a bunch of parents ended up at this construction site. And we're like, well, they did it on Sesame Street. And I just remember my dad's face looking at me. And he didn't say anything, but he conveyed the message of, are you effing stupid? And I remember that's the first time in my life at a young age where I honestly understood what he was saying without him saying a word. And I'm like, look into this situation. Yes, I am.
Either you growing up or your own kids, when did curiosity go sideways? 206-803-ROCK.
Hold up, we got one play. Everything we work for comes down to this.
Quick question. Speaking of workouts, how would you rate your athletic program?
Bro, we're in the middle of the state championship.
Oh, so like a B+ then?
Dude, get out of our huddle.
Well, at Homes.com, we leave it all on the field to get you detailed information on local schools.
Off the field.
Off the field. Copy. All right, go sports.
How'd he even get in here?
Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Cash in on the nostalgia with Barron's Payback Program. Your old system has history. Your new one has savings. Get $110 for each year of your old equipment's age. Get up to $5,000 in savings with a high-efficiency heat pump upgrade. Plus, one customer wins a free system install and another wins a free water heater. But don't wait too long. Barron's Payback Program ends February 28th. Call Barron Home Services today. No purchase necessary. Visit barronheating.com for details.
I'm Emma Greed, host of Aspire with Emma Greed, a podcast where I sit down with people who don't just dream big, they build big. From culture-shaping voices like Mel Robbins to leaders redefining success like Tracy Ellis Ross to game-changing entrepreneurs like Mark Cuban, Aspire is about mindset, ambition, and doing the work that actually moves the needle. If you're ready to raise your standards and take charge about the life and career you're building, Aspire is where you start. Follow and listen to Aspire with me, Emma Greed, an Odyssey podcast available wherever you get your podcasts.
Start the new year in drive during the construction sale at Kendall Chevrolet of Marysville. We've moved just a few blocks south to our brand new location. Just head down 33rd Avenue and check out the deals. We're still working on the remodel, but we're open during construction and stocked up with construction sale deals on Silverado trucks and Chevy SUVs. Chevy, together, let's drive. Stop by the new location of Kendall Chevrolet of Marysville, just down 33rd Avenue across Marine Drive. Kendall, let's start something great.
This is the mighty 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK from the Pinky's Plumbing Studio. You're in the men's room.
As they say, kids get stuff stuck in their noses all the time, from Legos and small marbles to pen caps and bits of paper. But have you ever heard of a child getting a lock pad stuck in their nose? Neither had firefighters in China's Hunan province.
A lock pad?
A lock pad.
Padlock.
Yeah.
Padlock.
It's not exactly
he basically
clear.
closed it through his septum.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the picture, it is just a lock. The hook part, he put through his nose, which I understand, and somehow locked it without being in excruciating pain.
His parents suspect he was playing with it, probably trying to cosplay as the Bull Demon King.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure who that is. What we do know is that at some point the padlock became stuck and he ended up with a unique bull ring. Now, after several attempts to remove the lock pad, the boy asked his parents for help, but they couldn't dislodge it without causing the boy severe pain and possible injuries. So in the end, they decided to seek the help of the local fire department, but even for them, the case presented quite a challenge. First, firefighters called the boy, calmed him down, and after examining the lock pad, They decided that yanking on it or applying too much pressure could cause serious injuries or even pierce the child's septum. So they opted to cut through the lock with shears. Surprisingly, they said the boy remained calm throughout the entire operation and vowed never to put things in his nose again.
Yeah, I bet.
Our question, either you growing up or your own kids, when did curiosity go sideways? 206-803-ROCK.
2 quick YouTube comments here. Trent Edwards says, I didn't get wet, but the poor guy sitting in front of me at the Seahawks game, this was at the Kingdom, well, he did. I was like 10. I ate too many hot tamales, threw up, projectile vomit on the back of this guy. I still feel bad. I left for the bathroom, woke up in the first aid room from too many hot tamales. Oh. And then this is something
getting
the
puked
kids,
on would be brutal.
It does suck.
I mean, I'm sure the guy
puke
wasn't
on me. It's different because I think the difference is this, okay? And look, puke is puke. But when an adult blows chunks, unless it's food poisoning, you're probably hammered. We saw it coming. I don't want any of it on me. When a kid pukes, which they do, yes, it's too many hot tamales, too much cake, whatever. Somehow it's more forgivable. I've had puke on my shoes from children that aren't mine, and I'm just kind of like, hey, man, I get it. Let it go. Too many sweet tarts in that case because all I could see in the puke were sweet tarts.
I mean, you're right, but here's the difference, right? Like, I've been at a bar and watched somebody we know just puke there.
Yeah.
But it was liquid. Whereas, like, when kids puke, there's a lot of...
You're right. I'm just saying your forgive level. You're like...
Sure. Like I'm saying, I don't think that guy was mad at him, but I can't imagine being sitting at the game and just being like,
yeah,
there's puke on.
Well, here's what I would recommend because I've seen this. I have seen this when I had season tickets to the Seahawks. The guys beside me were absolute jackasses, right?
Right.
And I mean, I could put down some beer. Don't get me wrong. They were absolutely hammered. They were every single week. It was the same situation. Now, the woman in front of them who had her hair draped over the back of the seat, and ladies, if you have some jackasses behind you, I would say pull up your hair in a ball immediately. He threw up all over the ground in front of him, which splashed, and the majority of that vomit splashed on the bottom of her hair.
Right.
She did not know this, but...
she found out.
Somebody, either above us, I don't know who did it, went down, got security, escorted his ass out within about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So he was gone. I don't know who went and told on him.
I mean, if you puke at your seat, I think that's fair.
But again, if it were a child, they'd be like, is he okay? Does he need water? So that's one. All right. And look, kids do that. You know, every Halloween, we still have the same conversation. Like, guys, seriously, like, don't overdo it on candy. You're going to get sick. I don't care if you feel bad. You're going to throw up, and then it becomes my problem. So just slow down on the Snickers bars, brother. Now, this is one of those things the kids do because they are mischievous. And I'm not seeing it this bad, but when I was a kid, we had 2 girls that lived next door, older and younger sister. I'm playing with the younger sister. The older sister walks out of the house and pours brown sugar into her younger sister's hand and says, Mom's making cookies. Wanted to know if you wanted brown sugar. Obviously, the little girl did. She dumped it in her mouth. It was sand. All right. And I always remember that because she spit it out. It's not the worst thing.
I don't think you can eat brown sugar anyhow.
You can. I mean, they don't recommend it.
But I'm just saying it's not like sugar.
It's not, but if you're a kid and they're going to offer you brown sugar, so I got it. Like, I understood. I'm like, that's kind of cruel, kind of funny, but it's sand, all right? So, Latina here on YouTube says, I gave my brother guinea pig poop when he was little and told him it was chocolate. I mean, now, come on. That is the ultimate kid move.
It's a raisinette.
It's a turd. Like, you literally gave your brother a turd, and then he put it in his mouth.
These stories all have one thing in common. I can guarantee you those are older siblings.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the younger one.
I don't have those stories because I'm the youngest.
Well, they were probably done to you.
Correct.
I only duped my brother once. He's 5 years older. And like I said, I'd always cheat in Battleship. But he knew I would. And I think he liked playing me to see how he could fill the entire screen. And somehow he never hit my ship. But he had, remember, wacky stickers? They kind of predated the Garbage Pail Kids.
Okay.
As far as stickers go. So when I was little, we wanted to collect them all. My brother had doubles of one. And I'm like, come on, man, just give it to me. You have 2 of them. And he's like, I'm not going to give it to you. It's going to cost you money. I'm like, I don't have money. He's like, I want 5 cents for this. Fine. I ran up to my room. I found a nickel. I gave him the nickel. He gave me the sticker. I immediately put it on this desk. He came upstairs later because we shared bedrooms and realized I just took his nickel and gave it to him. It's the only time I managed to get him. And he was pissed, so he beat me up. Don't do it. Yeah, that's basically how that got resolved. I got a 5-cent ass whipping. Hello, Ryan. Welcome to the men's room.
Dale.
Dale.
So I I got a really, really quick story, and then my original story. Sorry, Mike.
There it is.
You brought up the Kingdom, and I had a quick funny story about that. That was the first place I ever had peanuts.
All right.
And I didn't know about, you have to crack the shell. I just ate the whole dang thing. My dad's like, does that taste good? I'm like, no.
How many did you eat before your dad caught on?
Oh, I don't know. I was little. But my main story, I'm going to start this show off with some fire. So I was probably 5 or 6 years old, maybe. And I really wanted to go camping. But my dad was busy for some reason. So I went out to the backyard, gathered up some rocks, made a circle. And, the old school camcorders from like the 90s, they got that massive booklet of like instructions.
Oh, yeah.
I started ripping pages from that, putting it in the center of the rock circle, and I lit it on fire, had a little campfire. But the kicker was that campfire was in the middle of the living room in my house.
Oh, Jesus, man.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they had to replace probably like a 3-foot section of carpet.
How long did the fire burn before anyone caught on that you were, making a fire in the living room?
The fire detectors went off, and then my parents came searching and found me just like sitting there enjoying the fire.
In the living room. Did you have a fireplace in your house?
That house, I don't believe we did.
Well, the living room floor, Miles.
Yeah.
He made that very clear.
Yeah.
And you had carpeting back then?
Work.
Was it carpet?
What's that?
Was it carpet?
Yes, it was carpet. Yeah.
Okay. Of course.
Good times. Speaking of, a family narrowly escaped tragedy on January 21st, a few days back, after a child accidentally started a fire that completely destroyed their home. It's around 4:45 in the afternoon. The 43-year-old homeowner was alerted by her 21-year-old daughter that flames had broken out in the residence. The daughter reported that her 4-year-old son had been playing with fire in the living room, causing a couch to ignite. The flames then spread to the wooden partitions, engulfing the home in flames. The family, though, including the 2 young children, ran to safety. Fortunately, no humans were injured. However, a Nissan wagon parked on the property was completely destroyed. And unfortunately, their dog and a bird perished in the blaze. The full value of damages is still being assessed. Firefighters did manage to extinguish the fire.
I will say, of all the times I played with fire, which as a young boy was plenty, we never did it indoors. That was the one thing. Like, we just knew, like, man, don't do it. Well, that's not entirely true. All right, so it was summer. I'm thinking about the one house we always went at, my buddy Devin's house. And this is the dumbest thing in the world. So both of Devin's parents were musicians. They played at bluegrass festivals. They played the fiddle and all this. But they also had a piano in their dining/living room, all right? Regular stand-up piano, and no one really played it except them. Anyway, across from the piano was the fireplace, and in between the fireplace, I should not smile, this is not funny, was a dining room table. And this was when we lived in Rochester. And this particular kid, who I shall not name in case his family is still there, but everyone's a hunter, everyone has their guns and everything out in the garage. Well, we had a fire going in the fireplace. We already shouldn't have. I'm sure his parents would have frowned on that. But it was in the fireplace. We kind of knew what we were doing. But Frank, he had 3 shotgun shells. Okay, and we did not know he had them on him. And as this fire's going on, we're sitting at the dining room table. And we see him throw these things into the fire. We're like, what was that? And he's like, shotgun shells. He's kind of smiling about it. So we all get up, haul our ass away from the table, count maybe 15 seconds. Well, they fire. Because you've lifted them on fire. To put this in brief, that piano got blown to S, man. The wall and their sliding glass door to go outside into the backyard. The piano was pretty much obliterated. Just all this buckshot blown into it, and it was only traveling like 8 feet. Man, it's one of those deals. Now, keep in mind, Frank did not live there. This was Devin's house. I do not live there. It's Devin's house, but Frank's responsible. So I'm in the mindset, because I just see Devin has gone pale. His mouth's just hanging open. And, he's not crying, but the tears are just on the bottom. Not because the piano's gone, but his life's going to end when his parents get home, right? It's just that kind of thing.
Lucky he didn't die.
Well, like I said, once we realized what they were, once Devin and I realized what they were, we all got the hell out of Dodge. So we're kind of around the corner. We were in a safe position, but there's nothing we could do. It's not like you're going to run over and try to grab the shotgun shells, right? So anyway, they blew out. The The keys on the piano got blown the hell off. Not all of them, which almost made it worse. You know what I mean? The 88 key piano, I would say like 30 of them are now gone. Random. The whole back of it is just blown to hell. I left. Okay, because, Frank's kind of giggling because Frank was that guy. Devin's just like, oh, my God, man. Again, sliding glass door blown open, holes in the wall, piano gone, and you can't fix it. You can only get rid of it at this point. So I'm like, I'm going to go home. This is a you situation. No, I did not see Devin for the rest of the summer. I saw him when school started. Frank, I would see around, and he's just like, well, his parents, they don't really want me around the house anymore. I'm like, no, I understand that, man. But I end up getting a phone call at my house, and so my parents are mad at me, and I'm like, dude, I had nothing to do with this. I did not put shotgun shells.
I don't have shotgun shells.
We don't have a shotgun. I do not have hands on this. But the point was, my father says, he's like, no, I understand that. He's like, did you guys start a fire? Like, okay, well, yeah, I was a part of that, but it was in the fireplace. It did not end well for me, but it was definitely bad for Devin. But that is the most insane thing I've seen. And we were probably 9 or 10 at the time, but somehow we still knew better than that indoor. So that is the one time we, quote unquote, played with fire inside, but it was in the fireplace. Frank just effed it up by throwing live shells into a roaring fire.
Yeah.
And blowing up Devin's dining room.
Well, I did one of those things where...
I still can't imagine 9 and 10-year-olds feeling like, oh, we're just going to start the fire in the house.
Well, it was a fireplace, man.
No.
You know
I get it.
I
wouldn't trust
firewood.
them.
It's just, well, keep in mind, at that age, if you got home before your parents did and wintertime came, they called you like, hey, start the oven and start a damn fire. You taught your kids this that early, and it was in the fireplace, and you were responsible. Frank just threw a monkey wrench in that. It was just so loud, so chaotic, so awful, smelled terrible, and I'm like, man, Devin's gonna die.
Yeah. Well, my job when I was growing up, I'm probably 10 years old, was to always scoop all the ashes out of the fireplace, take them outside, and in restock, we had an indoor place where we stacked the wood.
Right. Get it from outside, bring it inside.
Near the fireplace. So that was my job in the morning before I went to school every morning. And I went and did that. And I put all the embers and the ash into a Kroger, a paper bag, and took them out and put them in the garage. Now, unbeknownst to me, there was still an ember in there. There was still red hot. But I saw no smoke. I didn't see anything like that. I just filled it back up, took it out in the garage, whatever the deal was. I go to school. Now, I think my mom was working part-time or whatever the deal is, but her car's in the garage. She opens the door to go, and we did not have smoke detectors in the garage.
Right.
She opens the door to go out in the garage, and that bag had basically turned completely black, and the top of it was on fire.
So it's like that slow burn?
It was a slow burn. Like if it just would have got a whiff of oxygen, if somebody would have opened the door, just enough to... But the entire garage was filled with black smoke. And when I got home, because like anything else, she's not going to contact the school to ream me out while I'm in school.
Oh, they'll wait.
I have no idea. I have no idea that when I get home, the S is going to hit the fan. And when I got home, both the garage doors are open, the back door is open. The entire garage just smelled like it was on fire.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't. It could have burned down. But, it was bad. Like it was black soot. And we had just gotten the garage drywalled.
Uh-huh.
It had not been finished, but it was drywalled. And there was black soot all over the top of the roof, all over the sides of the walls.
But it's also a lesson for a parent, because while you're mad at the kid, the only thing that will cross my mind is also they're 10 years old and we asked them to do this. Right? Maybe that's a little above the 10-year-old pay grade as far as, make sure the embers are out. Kids aren't thinking about that.
No, especially in the morning. You're just trying to get stuff done.
Yeah, you glance.
No.
So looked great to me, man. It's all good.
Wasn't hot. I put it in a paper bag.
Yeah, sure. Hello, Chris. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So this story takes place back late 90s, early it might have been 01, maybe. I think it actually was. Back in Michigan, where I grew up. And we were out riding our dirt bikes and four-wheelers, stuff like that. And, back then, nobody really cared where you rode as long as you didn't destroy anything or leave any trash.
That is correct.
You know what I mean? And so we were out in this big gravel pit area where the construction companies got all their gravel and dirt and stuff like that for the roads. And there was a bunch of there was some trash and stuff in the back, and we were jumping our dirt bikes and four-wheelers, driving over stuff, daring each other to do dumb things. And I think I was 13, 14 at the time. And we had the bright idea we were going to jump a washing machine, right? And so, yeah, I know, right? And it went about probably would have went about as good as you're thinking. So we get this washing machine and we go to move it, and it's heavy. We're like, why is this washing machine so heavy? So we open the door, the top to the washing machine, and there was a dead body on it.
Oh! Wow. How long do you think that body had been in there based on what you saw?
Well, from the smell that hit us when we opened it, because the washing machine's sealed, it'd probably been in there for a few days at least.
Jesus.
And yeah, it was terrible.
So what do you do now? I mean, this sounds like like a Stand By Me moment.
Kinda. And so we all started freaking out, and one guy, that lived closer to home, he took off. He was like, "I'm out, guys," and I was just like, "What? I don't know what to do." So I hopped on my 4-wheeler, and I looked at my buddy and says, "Hey, man, we'll make the call when we get home." So sure enough, we hauled our butts back home. It was like 2 or 3 miles, and we got back to the house, and we called from a payphone in town. 911. Hey, we found there's a dead body in this washing machine at Bertog's Pit. This is where it's at. And we ended up driving back by there because I told my dad about it, and Dad was like, "You're kidding." I said, "No, Dad, it's there." And so we drove back by it, and the whole place was full of cops. And he was just like, "Oh man."
How close were you to Detroit?
On the other side. I was on Lake Michigan.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
Damn.
Man.
Yeah.
That sounds like a mob deal.
I did not think that there was the direction that story was going.
Either you growing up or your own kids, when did curiosity go sideways? 206-803-ROCK.
With comprehensive reports on local schools you won't find anywhere else, Homes.com is the only place to find the in-depth info home shoppers want. Very in-depth info. Curious about where a school ranks in the state? Look no further. Percentage of teachers in their first or second year? We've got it. Lowest student-teacher ratio? No problem. The best cafeteria lunch in the district for your 9-year-old food blogger? Would it surprise you if we said yes?
Homes.com. We've done your homework.
On Aspire with Emma Grede, I sit down with people who don't just dream big, they build big. From Mark Cuban to Mel Robbins, we talk about mindset, ambition, and the work that actually moves the needle. Listen to Aspire with me, Emma Grede, an Odyssey podcast available now.
With a detailed agent directory you won't find anywhere else, Homes.com is the only place to find the in-depth info home shoppers want. Very in-depth info. Looking for a listing agent's contact info? We've got it. The agent with the most sales in your price range? Easy. Specialized agents with all the up-to-date info on your dream neighborhood? We'll know them. A Pisces who enjoys long walks on the beach? You've got other sites for that.
Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Cash in on the nostalgia with Barron's Payback Program. Your old system has history. Your new one has savings. Get $110 for each year of your old equipment's age. Get up to $5,000 in savings with a high-efficiency heat pump upgrade. Plus, one customer wins a free system install and another wins a free water heater. But don't wait too long. Barron's Payback Program ends February 28th. Call Barron Home Services today. No purchase necessary. Visit BarronHeating.com for details.
Looking for something smart, soulful, and full of heart? I'm Jen Hatmaker, host of For the Love, the podcast where we talk about what really matters. Love and family, faith and purpose. Every week, I'm joined by incredible guests for honest conversations that invite all of us to live with more intention, more laughter, and more connection. Join us on For the Love wherever you get your podcasts.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Here's a headline from South Korea. Mischievous boy gets stuck in claw toy machine. The boy who was on his way to school climbed into the machine to get the prizes on offer. His last name is Lee. He's on his way to school in the capital of Seoul when he stopped to try to get a toy from the machine on Tuesday morning, refusing to be undeterred. In his attempts to get what he wanted, The boy is believed to be around 5 or 6, climbed inside in order to get the prizes on offer.
All right.
Well, a passing pedestrian spotted him and called the emergency services, who came to rescue the boy from the claw machine. They were surprised to find the child still happily playing with the toys.
Yeah.
And quickly broke the lock on the machine in order to free him. He was stuck in there for about 20 minutes, not injured, so he was then sent on his way to school. Vice principal said the boy is somewhat of a mischievous tot. When you can't get a toy, other children would walk away or take the machine. He wanted to get that toy, so he climbed in. Our question, either you growing up or your own kids, when did curiosity go sideways? 206-803-ROCK.
Racer here from YouTube says, I tricked my brother into drinking a bottle of green food coloring. He got sick about 5 minutes later, and besides staining the toilet green, his teeth were bright green for about a week. Hello, Steve. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
How are you guys doing today?
We're doing great, man. Thank you, brother.
Great. So my story revolves around church. My dad was a pastor, and so we used to have to go to church and do all the landscaping and everything. And one day we went to the gas station, and he lost the little plug that went in the air hole of the gas can. And he said, it's getting all over the car. Stick your finger in the hole. Well, yeah, so I did that. And it took a little over 2 hours for the fire department to finally get it cut off.
Well, you can't exactly saw into it.
Yeah.
No, that was the problem. There was gas fumes in it, and it was a nightmare. But, it turned out okay, so we went to the church to do the work. And so it was my first day of spring break, and I was cutting down some trees on the back of the property, and one of the ladies from the church wanted to see how my finger was. So she tapped me on the shoulder when I was cutting into a tree, and the chainsaw spun out and went across my legs and sliced both my knees open.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so it was a really bad day for church. But, in my dad's defense, I mean, he wasn't like a skill guy. He was a guy that would hit the lawnmower with a hammer if it didn't start because he just that wasn't his thing.
Okay.
So, but an interesting summer vacation, or spring vacation.
Well, look, man, I don't blame your father, right? Stick your finger in the hole. You don't think your kid's going to get his finger stuck. But the woman who tapped him on the shoulder while he's operating a chainsaw. I don't care who it is or how old you are. Like, that's not the time to tap someone on the shoulder.
Not only that, but if they're cutting down a tree,
right,
you probably you don't want to be in the proximity of where they're at because of what they're doing.
Let me see your finger, Sonny.
I learned to fell a tree with a chainsaw. You still have, at least when I was a kid, 60% success rate of having it fall where you
in the direction
you planned. You basically just cut a pizza slice in it, and hopefully it falls to the wide side.
Well, remember, we pulled up. We did Google images of unsuccessful beavers. Mm-hmm. It was shocking. Because they're known for all their woodworking and take down a tree and dam a river. Okay, well, the smart ones do that. When we did the Google images, a lot of them, not that bright. They guessed wrong. And every picture we saw of a dead beaver, there was a tree on top of their head.
Either you growing up or your own kids, when did curiosity go sideways? 206-803-ROCK.
I watched one of those shows, like people live in this kind of specific spot, right?
Okay.
They basically all live on the water, this and that. So the one guy, he'll fell trees for people, but he used to be a logger.
Yeah.
Right? So he can literally split them between two houses, but I don't think the average person can do that.
Not on purpose.
No.
If it fell between your houses, I'd be like, everybody got lucky. Hello, Brian. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Hey, what up, guys?
How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Hey, so I heard your story, and it reminded me of something that I experienced as a kid. I heard some shotgun shells, and
yep.
Reminds me of a story in the past. I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I'm a boy's boy. I'm into fireworks and fire and guns and all the good stuff. Anyway, visiting my uncle. My dad had a couple long, 22 long rifles. My uncle had a couple pistols, and we'd go to a dump yard and go shooting, and I loved it. I'm a boy. And fast forward, I don't know the timeline. We had another family gathering, I believe, in Oregon, where we had a celebration of life. Big property, big main house, and there's a bunkhouse and a farmhand that took care of the property. When we arrived to the celebration of life, I remember seeing my cousin and the farmhand shooting pistols, and Dad, I want to shoot. And now's not the time, buddy. We're your family, so on and so forth. Anyway, get established, and I remember breaking away from the household and went into the bunkhouse and looking around the bunkhouse, and there's weapons everywhere. Pistols, 45s, shotguns, et cetera, and me just get done shooting. I'm all excited, and I see this 12-gauge shotgun on the bed, and what do? I go to pick it up. And there was one in the chamber, and I pulled the trigger. The shotgun went off, went through the 2x4 door and into the side of the house.
Christ.
And yep, right through the door, buckshot. And I'm about 8 or 9 years old, so family's sitting on the porch, and everyone's terrified to walk in to see what they're going to find. So that's my curiosity story.
So now wait. When you say they were terrified, I understand what they're terrified to find, but did they wait for you to walk out?
No, I remember sitting there on the edge of the bed kind of trembling, and it was my dad. My dad that was the one to come in and get me and, settle me down and whatnot. And then afterwards, I've heard the stories years later that they went and had a word with the farmhands.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet they did.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, it sounds par for the course in Oregon.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, rural Oregon, doesn't it? I mean,
but still, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm torn, right? I don't know what has changed, but and Miles, you say the same thing. Just based on where we grew up, if you went to someone's garage, like every weapon they owned was there because they all hunted and all this kind of
also
thing.
had an ammo table.
It was all there.
So you could make, your own buckshot.
But it was just understood. Just the way the dads in particular kind of instilled in you, like, do not touch this. I only know one kid. He would take his dad's rifle, but to be fair, he would go out in the woods and go hunting, right? His dad would get pissed, but he was using it for the right thing. But they were all laying there. They weren't locked up. Like, there was ammo everywhere, but you just knew, don't touch it.
Yeah. And unfortunately, look, that stuff happened then. It happens today.
I'm sure.
Like, I had a buddy, right? His dad had a hunting camp way up in Pennsylvania, almost towards, like, Canada.
Okay.
So we went up there one time, and it's just me, my buddy, the dad, and his buddy. So they had been hunting. They had a turkey. We were going to eat it that night. And his buddy, now this is his dad's friend.
Okay.
And we're sitting outside, and he's got this little pistol, and he keeps trying to clear it, right? But he's like doing it kind of close to the deck. We're like, me and my buddy Steve, we got up and walked away, and we're like, hey, man, like, I think you've been drinking. Like, you look like you're being a little careless with that thing. And then a day later, he was messing with the same thing and put a round through his foot.
Jesus. He's doing the same thing again.
Same thing again. And we were just like, I don't know how to say it. Just was, he was way too like,
were you there when this happened?
We were there the day before and we left, right? And look, full disclosure, right? I mean, this was a hunting camp little cabin, right?
Yeah.
Like basically same thing, like a bunkhouse. They had converted a refrigerator into a kegerator. So, I mean, the day we saw him, I mean, I watched this guy put down 15 beers before he decided, and granted, it was enough in the woods. He was popping off rounds, but when he was clearing that thing, we were both like, Jesus Christ, like, what are you doing?
Shoot myself.
Yeah. Either you growing up or your own kids, when did curiosity go sideways? 206-803-ROCK.
Yes, sir, it is, Ted.
James,
welcome to the men's room.
Hey, guys. How you guys doing?
Hola.
Homes.com has collaboration tools to help home shoppers search, share, and discuss home shopping with family, friends, and their agent directly through the site. Though it was fun to get that email from your husband about that 3-bedroom in the hills, to which you replied via text that you would never live in the hills and you'd like to find a 3-bedroom closer to the beach. To which he replied, "Why are you so uncompromising?" A fun way to spend an afternoon, but we think it's just a tad bit easier our way. Homes.com. Ding dong. We've done your homework.
Cash in on the nostalgia with Barron's Payback Program. Your old system has history. Your new one has savings. Get $110 for each year of your old equipment's age. Get up to $5,000 in savings with a high-efficiency heat pump upgrade. Plus, one customer wins a free system install and another wins a free water heater. But don't wait too long. Barron's Payback Program ends February 28th. Call Barron Home Services today. No purchase necessary. Visit BarronHeating.com for details.
Looking for something smart, soulful, and full of heart? I'm Jen Hatmaker, host of For the Love, the podcast where we talk about what really matters: love and family, faith and purpose. Every week, I'm joined by incredible guests for honest conversations that invite all of us to live with more intention, more laughter, and more connection. Join us on For the Love wherever you get your podcasts.
So, I was a mischievous little kid, as anybody is. You find a lighter, and what do? You play with it. So, it's me and a group of friends. We're indoors, as you shouldn't be with a lighter, but I don't know if you ever guys played around with dryer lint, but we're lighting dryer lint, and, it's going up to our fingers. We're dropping it, and, we're all laughing. But lo and behold, there's a big old trash can full of dryer lint, and one of the kids ends up dropping the fire lint inside of the trash can and engulfs it in a matter of seconds.
Oh, yeah.
So we're all panicking, but this is, mind you, we're inside. We're inside of an apartment complex. So nothing happens of it. It burns out. Luckily, my grandpa comes down really quick and stuff like that, but that really puts everything in perspective for you as a kid. You're just like, you don't think of the consequences of how things are going to go, and then boom.
No. I mean,
you don't realize how flammable certain things are.
It's part of the joy and terror of being a kid is that you don't know until you find out. Right?
Yeah. My buddy, he lived in a split level home, and the property was on a slope that was downhill. So when you walked up to the house, it looked like a one level house. Mm-hmm. But it had a basement, and when you went downstairs, there was a slider that opened up into the yard, which was down a hill.
Right.
But above that slider was also a deck. There was also a slider upstairs directly above that for the kitchen or whatever that went out. But there was a deck out there so you could sit out and look down the valley and everything else. But there was a bee's nest. There was a bee's nest underneath the deck. But the deck is open exposed if you're downstairs and you open up the basement slider. So this nest is sitting in the corner. And so Pat has the idea, look, okay, I'm going to grab my sister's hairspray. We're going to light this thing. Mm-hmm. I'm going to shoot this up. We're going to burn the nest.
A lot of people have that spirit.
And then we are going to run back into the slider. We'll keep the door open, man. Just get it going real fast. Torch that mother. And then we'll run inside.
Right.
We'll get rid of these bees once and for all. Mm-hmm. And so, and at the time, this was probably like 81, 82, his sister, I swear to Christ, his sister's can of hairspray was about a foot. Longer than a foot, as far as how tall it was. It was a tower. I mean, it might have been a foot and a half. It was this big. And so he's got this thing with two hands. I light it. He gets up, reaches as far up as he can. This thing goes up immediately, like, and we're like, yeah, we get inside. Not one bee sting, nothing. We are in the clear. We're watching this thing burn, and then all of a sudden you see the flames start to reach out on the corner as the deck is catching on fire, because basically you just lit like a ball of paper on fire.
And you put fluid on it on top of it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And so we're like, oh, Christ. So we ran upstairs as fast as we could. Now, not thinking as best we should, Pat gets like a mop bucket or something like that. We fill it up with water. This is taking a long time in the sink. Like, it's really not filling up that fast. It's just like, it's a slow go. We finally get this thing filled up. Pat's going to go outside. When he dumps the water, he accidentally dumps it over the end, but the nest is underneath the deck, so he doesn't really get any from the top side. The deck is still on fire. This is when we get stung by bees.
I was going to say, because now the bees aren't all dead.
No. The bees are out now. Didn't really think that through, trying to put this fire out. So then Pat's got another idea. I'll try to drag the hose around the back of the house. Well, the hose they had was about 10 feet short from the distance that you could actually spray this damn thing. So now the flames are really taking off. Eventually, he just poured another bucket of water, we did, on the floor, and that kind of dropped down and held it at bay. We get stung again. He fills it up. We must have dumped at least 5. But every time we would switch, because we knew whoever went out there with a bucket,
getting lit up.
It's going to get lit up, man. But I mean, we had to put this fire out. So for the next, 5 years until they got a new deck, the entire corner of that deck looked like it'd been in a house fire. Like it was black.
Well, it kind of was.
Charred. Yeah, it was fire.
Yeah, I mean,
it did look like it.
It had like, charcoal embers on it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was one of those things where they were not very happy.
I feel like everyone learns about bees nests differently. The first time my brother ever called me chicken, right? There were 4 of us that hung out, me and my brother, and then 2 kids that lived down the street. And 4 of us, we would just run through the neighborhood. I'm maybe 5, 6 years old. So he's around 11. And he and the older boy and the guy who's 1 year older than me, which was more my bud, but he wanted to be cool with the big kids. And by the time I catch up with them, they're in our backyard and they're throwing rocks into this pine tree. And I cannot tell what they're doing. And my brother explained, we're throwing rocks at the bee's nest. And I like, instantly, I'm like, I am out. So I started heading back toward the house. And I remember my brother's like, what are you, chicken? Which really hurt my feelings, okay? So I walk in the house. It's the weekend. Both of my parents are in the kitchen. They can see the kids in the backyard, but they're not really paying attention. My dad's like, what's wrong with you? Because I got like the little dry tears. I'm like, Adrian called me a chicken. He's like, don't worry, why'd he call you chicken? I said, they're out throwing rocks at the bee's nest, and I don't want to do it. My father looked at me and looked at the window and said, give it a minute. And within 30 seconds, you see the 3 of them now running like they're on fire, screaming their heads off. And my father just chuckled. He said, give it a second. They're like, he didn't go out there to get them. The door opens and they're stomping around. Now, all of them are crying in tears. Yeah. My father just taps me on the chest. He's like, it's good to be chicken sometimes. They got lit the F up, man. And I was A-okay.
Either you growing up or your own kids, when did curiosity go sideways? 206-803-ROCK.
At Homes.com, we do whatever it takes to get you the in-depth info on local schools you won't find anywhere else. Things like student-teacher ratio, test scores, and school programs. And sometimes that requires attending school recitals. So many recitals.
That's my son. Isn't he terrific?
Yeah, a real prodigy. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Cash in on the nostalgia with Barron's Payback Program. Your old system has history. Your new one has savings. Get $110 for each year of your old equipment's age. Get up to $5,000 in savings with a high-efficiency heat pump upgrade. Plus, one customer wins a free system install and another wins a free water heater. But don't wait too long. Barron's Payback Program ends February 28th. Call Barron Home Services today. No purchase necessary. Visit BarronHeating.com for details.
Looking for something smart, soulful, and full of heart? I'm Jen Hatmaker, host of For the Love, the podcast where we talk about what really matters. Love and family, faith and purpose. Every week, I'm joined by incredible guests for honest conversations that invite all of us to live with more intention, more laughter, and more connection. Join us on For the Love wherever you get your podcasts.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Pinky's Plumbing Studio, you're in the men's room. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK.
We are doing it live. Live night gets yalty and naughty. Friday night, February the 13th. That's right.
Yeah, man.
If anything could go wrong, it's going to go wrong on Friday the 13th.
Cool. Apparently, the morning show went offline this morning, I guess, in their studio.
I got in here early, and they were in the studio, and I was like, what are you guys doing in my seat?
Yeah.
What have you messed up so far?
Hey, 'cause my wife this morning said, the morning show's in your studio. I thought it was a prank, so I'm like, what are they doing? She's like, their show, something went very wrong in their studio.
Daily Mix Show Live, our show completely live, and you are part of the live studio audience. All the sound effects, all the music, all the commercials. We have a Foley artist there doing all the sound effects for us. It's going to be a great night, special guests and everything else. So
yes.
Hopefully you get a chance to join us on Friday night up at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Those tickets are on sale now at KISW.com. On to the question, either you growing up or your own kids, when did curiosity go sideways? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Steve. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola.
Okay, so this happened in the 70s when I was a kid. My dad was in the Air Force. We're stationed in England. So it's the beginning of summer vacation for me and these English kids that were a little bit older than me. I was about 12. They were 14, 15. So we're bored one night and we decided, let's go see what's in this bomb shelter that's in the backyard of one of our neighbors. It's like, sure, let's do it. Who knows what's in there? So, of course, they put me on point, and we're low-crawling across the yard. And about halfway to the target, I stop, and we notice that there's a cocktail party going on inside the house. And there's talk of aborting the mission, but it was decided that if we just stay in the shadows, we should be okay. So, and like the entrance to the bomb shelter was kind of facing away from the window where you could see the cocktail party was going on. So we get in there, score. There's old bottles of wine. So we each grab one in each hand and low crawl back to my yard, which butted up against their backyard, and go back to my backyard, and we find out that, yes, they're old bottles of wine, but they've all turned to vinegar. Except for one bottle that we couldn't figure out what it was. It's like this dark sort of, couldn't tell what it was, and we're like sniffing at it, and of course it was like, go on, Steve, you try it, because I'm the youngest, and I'm the only Yank, of course. And so I'm like, I cautiously go, okay, and I took just the tiniest of sips and immediately started spitting because it was creosote.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes. I'll never forget that taste, dude. And it was just like, of course they're laughing. They're like, what's the matter, Steve? It's
Steve.
like, and I said, it's creosote pip. And they were just laughing. And yeah, I got paid in full for our little larceny, but I still thought it was pretty fun.
How long did you live in England?
4 years.
4
From
years.
73 to 77.
All
Yeah.
right. Did you pick up any accent at all?
Well, yeah, because, you live there, innit? It's when you live in somewhere, you pick things up, you start talking like them. And then, like, you can, like, do imitations and stuff. In fact, my mum, who was born in England, would always be like, Steve, do your Beatles. And I'd be like, you mean like John, Paul, George, and Ringo? And so it's funny because even though she was born and raised in England, she spent most of her life in America. So she had kind of a weird accent. It was very sort of Americanized. But yeah, when we moved back, the American kids said we had this weird sort of accent. And we didn't think we did. We went to an American school, Department of Defense school with American kids and American teenagers.
Yeah, but everyone around, every time you put on TV, right, every pronunciation that you hear, it's going to be English pronunciation.
Well, right. And the slang.
That's part of it, too,
But it's like
right?
when people move to other areas of the country, I don't think we give them as hard a time as if they move across the ocean.
They're not, but when you move across the ocean, a lot of times, like in his case, it's a U.S. kid who's in England, so it's kind of harder to pinpoint the accent because it doesn't sound like anything, right? But we do have to change up what we say. So, like, if you go to Middle America, it's like if we were doing radio there, we would stop calling it soda and we would call it pop, right? Because that's
eventually, yeah.
And depending where you go, then it's because otherwise they don't necessarily know what the hell you're talking about. Or if you say soda, that's fancy for pop. And then soda pop in other areas. Or if we were in Atlanta, you would just say a Coke, even though you're talking about a Sprite.
Yeah.
What about dude? I never said dude in my lifetime. I moved to the West Coast.
Really? I say dude a lot.
Rarely.
My stepfather was going to law school, and one of the things that he had was a tape recorder with a microphone on it.
Yeah.
This was fairly new technology in 1973, 1974, but he used it for dictation, for interviewing, for all that stuff. So he would tape me. I would sing like hee-haw songs and all this crap. And I was born in southern West Virginia. My accent was absolutely crazy.
Okay.
I listened to that tape. I still have that tape. It's like light bulb instead of a light bulb.
Yeah.
And then I moved to Morgantown, which is closer to Pittsburgh. So growing up, I had a Pittsburgh accent.
Mm-hmm.
So everything I said was, like yens, a bunch of jagoffs.
Did you say yens?
Yens. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's how you refer to people, as yens.
Yeah.
And it took a long time to not say downtown and all that stuff. Then I moved to Baltimore, and that accent slowly faded, but they're not too far off. But it was not uncommon to go into a convenience store, Royal Farms, and go like, how you doing, hon?
Because that's what everyone says.
Yeah. That's the greeting. So, like, you fall into wherever you live, no matter what.
In Baltimore, they also do the plural sign-off, right? So it is just you and one other person. This is who you've interacted with. Cashier, DMV, you name it. When you're leaving, it's still, we'll see you later. And it always bugged me. I'm like, it's just you and me. There is no we. Why does everyone
See
say
you
that?
later.
But that is what people say all the time.
Either
We'll
either you're growing up or your own kids. When a curiosity goes sideways. 206-803-ROCK.
You're right. I'm sure I've said it.
Yeah,
I say it probably to this day.
plenty of people, like, I kind of blow it off now, but it was just so weird to me when I was a kid. Like, well, we'll see you later. And in my mind, I'm like, they're hearing voices in their head. Like, there's only two of us in this whole time. This is a school nurse. There were two. What the hell are they talking about?
Where's the other person?
Yeah. Hello, Deacon. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, guys.
Hola.
First-time caller here.
Oh, appreciate it, man.
Welcome
Thank
to the
you.
show, man.
Oh, yeah. So, start off the story. I grew up in a place in Lake Stevens here that had a really big tree house, kind of like one of the tree house guys built. And, they probably had 40 telephone poles, kind of staggered all the way up for a big staircase.
Gee, how big was this
Pretty cool
tree
spot.
house? I mean, we're talking like 300 square feet. I mean, what?
Is this one of those potential rentals?
No, nothing like that. I think it's 10 by 10. And it's a 2-story, fully insulated, has electricity and all that jazz.
Damn. All right.
That's a really nice place, actually. Right.
Yeah, I was going to say, this sounds like a house that happens to be elevated, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But, well, I always watched my dad mowing the yard on his nice Troy, riding lawnmower, and he was gone for the day, and I thought it'd be a great idea to take that thing around the yard and have a little joyride. And I start running up and down the driveway a couple times, having a ball, and we have about 6 square bales of hay stacked up against these telephone poles.
Oh, I thought you said bucking.
Here are the 7
Yeah.
words you can't say on the radio. Sucker, mother, and please keep those words in mind when calling. Now, back to the program.
All right, no more F-bombs, Deacon.
Yep, sorry.
Very smooth how you did it.
Yeah, I know, kind of. Yeah, it took me a split second. And I looked at my like, yeah, he definitely said that.
Yep. Well, I ended up pushing these hay bales with the front of the lawnmower, and the exhaust comes out the front of the lawnmower. So, little me, I didn't really have any thinking skills back then. I start bumping into it, and then I take off and run back down the driveway. I come back up, and about 3 to 4 of those poles are completely engulfed in flames. The hay bales took off. I mean, this is the middle of summer.
Yeah.
And my neighbor, he's about 20 feet away in the fence line there, and he's got a hose sticking over the fence, screaming and yelling. I'm freaking out, calling my dad. Yeah, it was a pretty good time, but I learned to stay off the lawnmower after that until he was home.
Now, did the treehouse collapse, or did the poles manage to keep the load?
I think the neighbor actually did some due diligence with that little garden hose he had. Because he told me to grab one, I grabbed mine, and we just sat there and started, squirting and trying to put it out as quick as we could.
Well, sometimes those things go up. It depends on how old they are, because they are treated with like an oil-based substance, a telephone pole. So either way, it's either going to, if it's real dry, it's going to go up. If it's still somewhat damp and moist, it probably won't be as bad.
Now, did your father build the treehouse, or did you guys just buy the house and it was already there?
We bought the house, and it was already here, and funny enough, the guy before us worked for PUD, and those were old power poles, so they were just about as soaked with oil as you can get.
Yeah. They treat that. That's why whenever you see like a fire that takes over an area, half the time the poles are still up.
Right.
Because those things just don't catch on fire and burn.
Did you kind of have the cool house among your friends based on the fact that you had a 2-level tree house with electricity?
Oh, yeah, we had plenty of good times in that tree house. We got a nice zip line, and it's kind of abandoned now, but now that I'm older.
All right,
it was definitely a good time.
Did you ever have sex in the treehouse?
Well, yeah, it was pretty popular in high school.
Yeah, I was
guess
going to
you did.
say, man.
Yeah, so the answer is yes.
That's my first thought. I got a 2-level treehouse on my property with electricity. Like, absolutely, I am going there to have sex. I don't even know what else I'd use it for, to be honest with you.
Yep. Either you growing up or your own kids, when a curiosity goes sideways. 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Mikey. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
So, Mikey, what happened?
So this happened last year. So I'm a teacher, paraeducator at an elementary school. And last year, it was about May.
Uh-oh, you're breaking up, man. Start over again.
Showing the... So I'm a paraeducator at an elementary school, and last year I was proctoring for the SBA testing, standardized testing.
Yeah.
At the end of the year, and so I was getting set up, passing out the papers and pencils, scratch paper if kids need it, and a pencil, obviously, so they can write. And one of my students, about halfway through his test, had the brightest idea to copy a TikTok trend. So the TikTok trend was taking a pencil and your school-issued laptop and just jamming the graphite points of the pencil inside one of the USB ports just to see what happens. And he had the brightest idea to copy that TikTok trend in the middle of standardized testing. And I had just sat down. I did my little lap around the room, making sure kids are on task, asking if they need any help reading something, if they have that option. And I sit down and he goes, teacher, my laptop is smoking. And out of the USB port where he pushed the graphite of his pencil inside the USB port, there was a little bit of smoke. There wasn't a lot, but there was a little bit of smoke just pouring out of the USB port. And I was like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? Did
you know what he had done at the time?
Since I didn't know of this trend at the time, I didn't know it was because of the graphite. But then I was like, dude, what did you do? And he showed me, he had his pencil that the lead was broken off. And then, so I was like, this guy just literally pushed graphite into a power socket in his laptop. And so I had to contact my vice principal. We shut down his test. I think he got a chance to retake it, but for the rest of the year, he had no access to his laptop. His parents had to purchase a replacement because I think it was broken. And I was just thinking, dude, how dumb can you be?
Well, let me ask you that. Right, 'cause once parents have to spend money, that's when I get pissed. Everything else, I'm like,
right.
Kids are kids. I'm like, wait a minute, this costs me how much? All right, now let's have a talk. But
that's why when you broke a window as a kid, it was not good.
Do you make it a point to try to keep track of some of the TikTok trends, being that 95% of them are absolutely stupid, but the only people that really are going to do it are probably kids about the age in your class?
I do go on TikTok here and there, so I have seen some of the trends that go around, but I wouldn't say that I'm on it as much as my students are to know every single thing that's happening today, tomorrow, all that kind of stuff.
Do you guys ever get together with other teachers hey, man, I just saw this TikTok thing yesterday. Just be warned that this might happen in your class?
I think we've gotten a few emails like that, saying, hey, watch out for this. If someone says this, they really mean this. But I've also seen a lot of other teachers on TikTok that kind of update the rest of us that aren't so terminally online.
Yeah, right. Are the kids allowed to have their phone, use their phone during class or in school?
No, they're supposed to keep it away.
Good.
In their backpack.
Yeah, we couldn't even chew gum because they were getting tired of cleaning gum off the bottom of the desk.
They didn't like the sound.
Yeah, it was all these things. It was just if you can't have gum, as a distractionary thing.
It was a distraction. We're chewing gum, man.
Either you growing up or your own kids, when did curiosity go sideways? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jimmy. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, hi, how you doing?
Hola.
So this happened back in the 70s. A friend of mine, Jeff and I, his father had passed away, and his dad left him this .22 rifle. And we skipped school that day. And so we turned around and we went to the back of his yard. And on the garage, he had this old glass doorknob. and we were trying to break this thing. We couldn't even break it with this 22 little rifle. And he goes, well, watch this. I'm going to break it this time. And he grabbed that thing, he aimed it, and he shot that thing. As soon as he shot that, he pulled the trigger, it came back. I looked down, and it hit me on the left hip. And so it ricocheted, came back and hit me. And then all of a sudden, my leg started bleeding, and I jumped on my bike, and I rode home and told my mom I got shot. And she's like scared, freaking out, asked me who shot me, and I didn't want to tell her. Then I told her that Jeff and I, what we did. And then next thing you know, my dad goes over there, takes the rifle, breaks it in half, and then tells my friend Jeff that I can't hang out with them no more.
All right. Well, he shot you.
That's fair.
Not intentional.
That seems decent out of your parents.
Yeah.
Either you growing up or your own kids, when did curiosity go sideways? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Brent. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
First time calling in. We were living in Colorado. We're getting ready to PCS from Colorado to Washington State, and I had to clear the base, and I had my son Chris and Michael with me. And as we're going back home, living on base, we're driving down to the Air Force Academy, and you can see our housing area, and there's a fire truck, and there's the cops right by our house, and there's a little fire going on. And I turned to my son Chris, who was 13. I said, I'm glad you're with me, because I figured it'd be him. And so as we get to the house, I go outside and I see what's going on, and my wife comes out and goes, what's going on? I said, I don't know, there's a fire. There's a water bucket there or something like that. And the police and the fire department keep looking towards our area, which there's other houses. And they start walking, and I say, go left, go left. They just walk right up to me. And they said, do you have a son? I said, 5. Do you have a blonde? I said, 2. You got one with glasses? I said, 1. And so they said, where is he? I said, well, my wife said, well, he's at his friend's house. I said, are you sure? And they said, can you check the house? So I go into his room, look around, don't see him. And then I hear something. I look under his bed, and it's him under the bed, Josh. And I said, he's crying and everything. I said, it's okay. It's okay. I said, no matter what, it's okay. Don't worry about it. So he comes out. We talk to the cops on base and the fire department, and they said, okay, well, we got to turn in a report and everything. So he said, okay. Anyway, so then we PCS, and then about 3 months later, my boss, my commander calls me in and says, you got to report that your son started a fire before you PCS. I said, oh, yeah. I said, you're supposed to class, so don't start fires or something like that. I said, which they didn't offer it here at McCord, but anyway, they just signed off. The fire department said, you're good.
Okay, so, well, it wasn't on you.
Wow.
Jesus.
That's terrifying, man.
Still to come, the return of Who Sucks Less at 4:30, and we've got your emails on the way next to the men's room at KISW.com.
Homes.com is the only place where you can find specialized neighborhood guides with the in-depth insider info home shoppers want. Very in-depth info. Want to know if there's homes for sale in the area? We've got it. How long has a home been on the market? We'll know it. Average lot size? Proximity to local parks? Of course. Insight into your neighbor's divorce? We're working on it. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Looking for something smart, soulful, and full of heart? I'm Jen Hatmaker, host of For the Love, the podcast where we talk about what really matters. Love and family, faith and purpose. Every week, I'm joined by incredible guests for honest conversations that invite all of us to live with more intention, more laughter, and more connection. Join us on For the Love wherever you get your podcasts.
Hold up, we got one play. Everything we work for comes down to this.
Quick question. Speaking of workouts, how would you rate your athletic program?
Bro, we're in the middle of the state championship.
Oh, so like a B+ then?
Dude, get out of our huddle.
Well, at Homes.com, we leave it all on the field to get you detailed information on local schools.
Off the field.
Off the field. Copy. All right, go sports.
How'd he even get in here?
Homes.com. We've done your homework.
New year, same extra value meals at McDonald's.
Now get a savory sausage McMuffin with egg, plus hash browns, and a small coffee for just $5. For a limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher in Hawaii, Alaska, and California, and for delivery.
What you heard right there was the power of audio. And audio is what we do at Odyssey. That true crime podcast you spent hours listening to, we produced that. That radio station where you discovered your favorite artists, that's our station. That weird playlist of bongo music, we ain't judging. One of our curators made that. Advertise with Odyssey. We can get your message in front of a broad or targeted audience. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Who Sucks Last is coming up. A first time for a few emails to the men's room at KISW.com. Oh, come on.
Uh-huh.
There we go. A few on our question today about how curiosity went sideways, guys. At the age of 10, I tried to fit as many coins as possible in my nose. Got a dime stuck and tried to get it out with scissors and cut myself pretty bad. Oh. Guys, my friend convinced his little brother to light off a 3-alarm parachute firework in their home. For years, there was a big black mark on the ceiling. Another got my brother to put a spoonful of cayenne pepper in his mouth. Convinced him it was cinnamon, just like the hot tamales candy. Then gave him water instead of milk, knowing it was going to make the matters worse.
Jesus.
Story time. Learning at the age of 12, the rear naked chokehold could be used until you passed out. Probably killed a lot of brain cells that way. Ha ha. We used to do that in Boy Scouts.
Everybody, yeah, man.
But we would squeeze the chest.
Yeah, until you passed out. That was the whole thing.
Yeah, you hold your breath and do that. Guys, when I was real little, my brother convinced me if I jumped off the back of the couch, I could fly like Superman. I did not fly like Superman. Hit my head on one of those big speaker boxes we all had back in the 80s and split my head wide open. Now time for a few birthdays brought to you by Men's Room Roasted Red Salsa from San Juan Salsa Company.
Dip responsibly.
All the guys, today is Mila's 4th birthday. Maybe a few dad jokes from Miles, Mickey, and Goofy talking about their time in preschool and when they started to play sports. And finally, please give her a few of Thrill's Shotgun Gets. Thank you, guys. Love you, Mila. That from Dad, a.k.a. the Coon Trapper.
Well, gosh. You know, when Goofy was only 4 years old, I was living up in Alaska in the forest sport, and I got into dog sled racing.
I know. When you're a small little mouse, it's hard to get dog sled racing.
He couldn't pull his own weight.
But at 4 years old, I could still manage that sled and eat a lot of ice cream. Well, you should know.
Okay. Couple of dad jokes. See if I can find any that are appropriate.
4-year-old's tough.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Did you guys know that Yoda had a last name? Yoda. Did you know that Yoda actually has a last name?
No.
Lehiho.
Gotcha.
Yoda-Lehiho.
It's a yodel, Ted. Yoda-Lehiho.
Yoda-Lehiho. Okay. Maybe that one didn't go over as well as I thought.
No, I'm more laughing at it. Like, I got one for a 4-year-old. So it's a Yoda joke.
Okay. Yes, it's a Yoda.
Yeah. Let's say it's a bad joke.
Why are jellyfish lonely? Why are jellyfish lonely?
I don't know.
Because there's no peanut butter fish.
Okay.
I bet you she just folded her arms and shook her head.
Guys, I just got a horse and I named him Mayo.
Mayo?
Mayo. Mayonnaise. That's a mayonnaise joke.
Yes,
a couple of shotgun gets there, please, too.
Get.
It's a big time.
I said get.
Raccoon.
I said get.
Drop it.
Get.
All the Michellas, I turned the big 4-0 today. I was wondering if my favorite radio show could give me a birthday shout-out. If I could get a barbershop fish sandwich. The Dirty Germans talking about what I should do for my 40th birthday. And a Go Cougs from you all. That would make my day. Thanks, guys. That from Greg.
Can I get a fish sandwich? Oh, you know I gotta eat right. Well, brother, can I have a fish sandwich? You put the cheese and the tartar on the side.
Yeah, you're saying go Cougs. I would say for your 40th birthday, perhaps you go Couging. You're at that age now.
Yeah, that's the problem is, though, if he goes Couging at this age, he has to be 65.
Yeah, good point. No, he's the younger man. Viral, yeah.
You want to do the Go Cougs?
Sure, go Cougs.
Guys, could you please wish
Hey,
my...
Cougs, Husky fans don't have a beef with you like you guys do with Husky fans.
Mm-hmm. They're too busy studying.
The Cougs?
No.
Oh.
The Huskies.
That's what I was like, what?
I know both of us sounded like, what?
I think I would have...
How could you confuse that?
I think I would have ended up a Coug.
I get the feeling...
I like drinking with Coug people. It's a blast. I've dated both, but I've gone to enough Husky games. Kind of a Husky now, too. But
I would just say this. If my two kids, if they ever go to state schools, I get the feeling my daughter would be at UW, and my son would definitely be in Pullman.
I went to the Holiday Bowl down in San Diego a number of years ago, and the entire hotel was full of Coug fans.
Oh, they're the best.
How fun was that?
Man, it was. Yeah. It was.
They played Old Miss last year. Like my nephew, like everybody I've talked to at Old Miss is like, we love those people. And credit to the Cougs. They played a hell of a game down there.
Yeah. Guys, could you please wish my wife Angela, pronounced Chaos Goblin, a happy 41st birthday? With some turtle sex, a please clap in the paws, the Dirty Germans talking about the wild party we will have this weekend, and Miles' most extreme dad jokes. With love from her husband, Jason.
Please clap.
Yeah, it's funny you call us the Chaos Goblin because I nicknamed my penis Chaos.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So that's all I know how much you got.
Yeah.
Chaos. I know about the goblin.
Yeah, are you saying that that's a noun or a verb?
Sounds like this weekend, so since it's her birthday, you might have to be the goblin.
Yeah.
All right, a couple dad jokes. Extreme dad jokes.
These are extreme. No E, just X.
Do a backflip when you tell it, Montgomery.
My doctor said I might be going deaf, Ted.
Oh, yeah?
That was hard for me to hear. Why don't monsters eat ghosts? Why don't monsters eat ghosts?
I don't know.
They taste like sheet. Couple more.
Sorry, Mike. That's kind of good.
Walked in on my girlfriend having sex with her personal trainer.
Oh, yeah?
I said, this isn't working out.
Okay.
I found a shoe in my toilet.
Found a shoe?
A shoe in my toilet.
Oh, yeah?
It was a clog. And finally, what does a deaf gynecologist read?
He reads lips.
Like most people, yeah. We're deaf.
Something with Braille there, huh?
All right, guys, here you go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Homes.com has collaboration tools to help home shoppers search, share, and discuss home shopping with family, friends, and their agent directly through the site. Though it was fun to get that email from your husband about that 3-bedroom in the hills, to which you replied via text that you would never live in the hills and you'd like to find a 3-bedroom closer to the beach. To which he replied, "Why are you so uncompromising?" A fun way to spend an afternoon, but we think it's just a tad bit easier our way. Homes.com. Ding dong. We've done your homework.
Our lives aren't like they used to be. They're busier. Early morning Zooms, grabbing coffee to make that in-office meeting, getting to your kid's soccer game on time. Life is different, and so is advertising. To reach any audience, you need your message out there in all media, broadcast to streaming, on screens, and right to the ears of your customers. And that's what we do at Odyssey. Let's build a media campaign that targets the customers you know and want to reach more of, right here in our community. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Thank you, Bob. And a couple of extra emails here. We'll just do some random ones. Let's see here. Funny names. Good evening. Today I found out that my former senior manager at a very large aerospace company is retiring after all these years.
All right.
I just want to say good luck. Les Johnson.
Les Johnson.
Les Johnson. Yeah.
What a great name.
Exactly.
Les Johnson, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I respect that name.
It's probably hung like a polo pony.
From the Fluid conversation on yesterday's program. It says, guys, I was flying from Germany to Seattle in the early aughts when my son Torben, about 18 months old, he was strapped in on my lap for takeoff. Not minutes into the flight, Torben puked. His milky, cheesy breakfast ran into my shirt, jeans, underwear, somehow got into my shoes. While my ex-hubby took Torben and changed him, I proceeded to strip down in the tiny, gross lavatory and try to wash all my clothes in that teeny tiny sink. Plane luckily wasn't full, so I could drape my wet clothes over the neighboring seats. I wore blankets the rest of the flight. Didn't dare sleep for fear of inadvertently flashing fellow passengers. Got dressed 9 hours later and deplaned wearing damp clothes, stiff cold jeans, shirts, underwear, socks, all still stinky and covered in missing flecks of cheese. Every flight after that, I packed a change of clothes for myself in my carry-on.
Yep.
Memories. That from Trista.
Traveling with children is so fun. God, it's a long flight with a little kid, man.
It is. Ola Bachelos, when I was 18, 19, I was swapping out a component on a full fuel tank. Middle of the summer, sweating like a dog, so I couldn't fully differentiate fuel on my skin to sweat. Got the part swapped out, cleaned up. I knew I had some fuel down my arm, but I wasn't aware of how much was actually on me. Washed up into the day. The next morning, I had a chemical burn from my pit down the middle of my back, onto my starfish, onto my, and on the bottom of my bag. That was a miserable next few days. Yeah, the gooch, basically.
Oh.
That from him, it's the unofficial heavy equipment mechanic for the men's room.
I got to think, man, the gooch has to be the single most sensitive place on your body.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that flesh does not see a lot of...
Keep in mind, like, between your testicles and the gooch, I don't know which one's more sensitive, but I don't want to F with either of them.
What's this? Nicknames. Gentlemen in the Navy. Everyone had a nickname. I served on a ship at the time that was ported in Hawaii. When I first reported to the ship, there is a check-in process, and I got to meet my boss that day. His name was Doomy-ass. My first words to him while shaking his hand, I misread the name tape on his chest and said, "Hey, is your name really Dumbass?" Sadly for Doomius, it stuck, and it was true. Mine was Squirrel for hyperactivity and mischief. My buddy was a larger and tall guy. He was Moose. The fat kid no one liked was Bacon. We were climbing up the main mast when Bacon froze. Apparently, he was scared of heights, which is never good for a radar technician. So I started to shake the mast left and right, and the guy froze, white knuckling it on the ladder. The bad part, I had to carry this guy down. The good part is Bacon became Shakin' Bacon.
Shakin' Bacon.
Another guy was just Stinky. If he liked you, he would try to dry hump you while saying, "Yay, Stinky Shuffle." Then there was Rick Ryden. I'll let you guys guess that one. I married a redhead. She's red. My dog is a 35-pound Shepherdor, half shepherd, half lab, all dumb. She will walk around and growl when she wants something, so we call her Baby Gurr. I'll also call her Pop-Tart, as she once snuck away with my Pop-Tart. That from Squirrel.
Now, the men's room wants to know, who sucks last?
Yay, time for Who Sucks Last. Stephen Thrill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They all suck, but it's up to us to determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to like the Men's Room on Facebook or follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
And as always, we have 3 stories. One of them deals with vehicles. The other 2, because Ted demands it, deals with kids.
Yep, got to help them out.
I know, man. You're talking about the kid. Thrill. Talk about the kids today. Most people don't know it. The voice you hear from Ted is his radio voice. If we're in the office, off mic, "Hey, Thrill."
Yep, that's how it is.
Talk about those kids, man. Yeah.
It's like some people don't recognize me out in public.
Oh, when they hear the voice, like, God, you look like Ted, but obviously you're not him. Yeah.
Obviously not.
I've seen it with my own eye.
Go hard.
No, I mean, go hard. Come on, man. All right, so let's start in China, where a man...
I'm not positive where my accent came from.
Don't know. Some people Scotland. All right, so we go to China, where a man divorced his wife of 16 years after learning that none of his 3 kids that she birthed during their marriage were his. None of them. So in December 2007, he married this woman after she was 8 years his junior, and they got married soon after meeting her for the first time. Well, soon after tying the knot, the wife informed him she was pregnant, and he was so overwhelmed by the news that he was going to be the father that he never realized that his wife would have to have already been pregnant when they met. Anyway, she gave birth to the couple's first daughter, and her husband became a long-distance freight driver who was away most of the year, only coming home for short periods of time. Well, the years passed, and she gave birth to another daughter, which the husband assumed was his, because that's generally a safe assumption. But he started suspecting his wife's infidelity in 2019 when she informed him that she was pregnant once again, because, you see, this time He knew that he had not been home when the baby had been conceived, so he confronted his wife about it. But she insisted the baby was in fact his, and in the end, the man accepted her version and welcomed his third daughter. In spite of all of the math that goes into this, she was like, nah, baby, you're wrong. Well, November of 2022, that's when he finally became that his wife had not been faithful. You see, he learned that she had been having an affair with a man named Wu, and that she had given birth to her fourth daughter at a hospital. Now, instead of confronting his wife, he got a lawyer. He went to the hospital to investigate. That's where he learned that she had indeed given birth to a girl there that month, but the release form featured his name as the father as well as his own forged signature. Well, convinced that his previous suspicions of his wife's infidelity had been correct, he then filed for divorce, and he ordered a paternity test for each of his children. The result was shocking because none of the three daughters he had raised as his own had been conceived with him. Heartbroken man took his wife to court, asked for paternity of the children anyway because he did raise them, but also for compensation for emotional distress. A family court issued its final verdict, and apparently this case is very polarizing in China, but he was awarded custody of the two eldest daughters, while his wife was ordered to give up her claims to material possessions and to pay monthly alimony to her ex-husband. Okay. So I do respect the fact that he's like, look, they're not mine biologically, but I raised them. I still want custody. But damn, man. So she puts out, just not for him. Now we go right here in the United States where everyone has lost their frickin' mind. Case in point, the father of a 4-year-old girl whose accurate NFL predictions made her a viral sensation says his family is now receiving death threats after her picks during the playoffs were losers. Again, this is a 4-year-old girl.
Who'd she pick?
So, Reese Donatelli, she gained a large social media following for her spirited and sassy football predictions posted to her dad's account. And what she would do is grab the mini helmet of an NFL team she believed would win, sometimes tossing aside the losers. Okay, it's not like she's like, hey, bet on sports here. It's a 4-year-old girl. She looks at colors she likes, whatever. Tosses the helmet she doesn't like, keeps the team she does like in front of her. Well, during the first weekend of this month's playoff games, several of her predictions, they did miss the mark, prompting some followers to claim her picks were, quote, cursed. I'll remind you, this is a 4-year-old girl. So her father, who's a radio personality, one Anthony Donatelli of Riverside, California, he told the LA Times that the family has received threatening messages, including death threats and including demands for money from people who claim to have lost thousands of dollars because his 4-year-old daughter's picks were incorrect. Now, the backlash even drew commentary from celebrity fans. Rapper Cardi B, his boyfriend is New England Patriots wide receiver Stephon Diggs. She joked during an Instagram Live after she picked the Patriots to win, quote, that little white girl said we're going to win. F that bitch. It's from Cardi B about a 4-year-old girl. Now, the father and daughter's Instagram series, dubbed Trust the Toddler, it began nearly 4 years ago when the father, who's a lifelong Steelers fan, he bought the mini helmets to teach his daughter the colors, geography, and about football. But even the best have off days. Reese guessed the wrong team for all 6 games during the first week of the playoffs. The next week, she went 1 for 9, incorrectly predicting that the Buffalo Bills, the 49ers, and the Bears would win. And that's what led to death threats, again, against a 4-year-old girl. Just throwing it out there, man.
Those are bad picks.
They're terrible picks. And
you should know that if you're gambling.
Yeah. If you're going to bet on football, you can go with your gut, you can go on what you know to be true, or you can go with a 4-year-old girl who does not care about football and is picking football helmets by color. Your choice, your money, do your thing. God, man. And here's the question. You ever sold anything on Facebook Marketplace? Now, there are pros who do it. A 24-year-old guy in Missouri, he's facing charges after he sold the same 2 cars multiple times. Because, you see, he'd sell one. Then immediately, he would steal it back and then sell it again. His name is Mamdou Diallo. And cops in Kansas City said that between May and June of last year, he sold 2 cars to 8 different people, a 2013 Honda Civic and a 2013 Buick Verano. Now, the cops caught on after they got 8 different stolen vehicle reports that were similar. People paid cash, got what seemed like a legit title for the car, and then it was stolen the next day in all 8 cases. So he got caught after he tried to sell the same car to the same buyer a second time. A woman he scammed saw the car for sale again, used a different Facebook account to reach out. He tried to sell it to her for a second time. She also got security footage of him stealing the car around 1 a.m., 7 hours after he sold it to her. He's now facing 14 felony charges and up to how long in prison?
I don't know.
98 years. Oh,
damn.
You can kill someone and get less time. So, yeah, 98 years in prison.
Hey, look, that's crappy, but 98
years. So, again, our stories today, we have the guy in China who he was married for 16 years, discovered that none of the daughters that his wife birthed were his. In the end, he got custody of 2. She's paying some alimony. We have just the general football betting U.S. public who are sending death threats to a 4-year-old girl because, in her infinite wisdom of the sport of football, got her picks wrong in the playoffs. And finally, the guy who would sell you a car, steal the car back, and then sell it again.
Okay, Ted, it's easy for me. I'm going to say the man who divorced his wife after 16 years of marriage because she lied about 4 kids, she sucks the most. Because she put him through that long of a time, and the whole thing was just a lie. Even though he got a couple of his kids, even though he got some child support or alimony or whatever he got and got to keep all his stuff, it's just the emotional wear on something.
Yeah.
So that one to me sucks the worst. Sucks the most. Death threats against a 4-year-old, that's pretty bad. I know that I don't think anybody
think that one sucks the most.
Was going to follow through on it, but at the same time, it's your family. This guy's
it's
a
4-year-old girl picking football teams.
Yes,
right. And obviously, Miles and I are joking about how bad our picks were. Like I would bet money on a 4-year-old.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
They are bad picks, but she's 4.
You should know better. I mean, they have animals that make picks. Sometimes they're right. Sometimes
there's
they're
a
wrong.
monkey,
You
an
don't threaten to
octopus.
kill the dog.
We don't know that.
So I'm going to say that.
You want that dog that bounces the balls?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had some bad picks. He had to go into hiding.
You said about
yeah, right. So I'm going to say Casey guy because he got busted. Yes, he was doing what he was doing, but he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail. And
98.
I don't know if anyone got their money back or got a car or how's the deal, but
I don't know. I don't know
one way or another.
I mean, unfortunately, I do agree with you. That one sucks the least. Unfortunately, I don't think those people I'm assuming this guy probably doesn't have the money or spent the money.
Probably.
So it still sucks.
Well, I don't know because he gets paid in cash. Keep in mind, he's stealing these cars hours later. So he has to have, I can't imagine, I don't know, give me $20,000 for the car. I can't imagine I've spent $20,000 in 8 hours. I mean, it could be done, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I do agree that sucks the least. I'm a throw man. Like, sending death threats to a 4-year-old.
What the hell's wrong with
for football bets? And again, she's picking helmets on color or names she likes or whatever.
But like Cardi B, I can cut her some slack because she's doing an Instagram live. I think she's just kidding around.
I would think so.
To message the family and be like,
"Go to kill her,"
right? Or I mean, even to make fun of her, why would you bet money on what a kid says?
I don't know.
Debate continues on Who Sucks Less. If you like the Men's Room on Facebook or follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live. Count up at 5:08. We will drink and toast with a shot of the day. You are listening to the Men's Room.
At Homes.com, we do whatever it takes to get you the in-depth info on local schools you won't find anywhere else. Things like student-teacher ratio, test scores, and school programs. And sometimes that requires attending school recitals. So many recitals.
That's my son. Isn't he terrific?
Yeah, a real prodigy. Homes.com.
Ding dong.
We've done your homework.
Our lives aren't like they used to be. They're busier. Early morning Zooms, grabbing coffee to make that in-office meeting, getting to your kid's soccer game on time. Life is different, and so is advertising. To reach any audience, you need your message out there in all media, broadcast to streaming, on screens, and right to the ears of your customers. And that's what we do at Odyssey. Let's build a media campaign that targets the customers you know and want to reach more of, right here in our community. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
99.9 KISW. The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
All right, count up until 5:08. We will drink and toast with the shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check out with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Well, thank you, Miles. To avoid accusations of cheating by using AI on their assignments, college students are now using AI humanizer programs to basically dumb down what it is that they're putting out.
Which is amazing. So to not get caught using AI, they use AI because there's another AI
that can make it look less AI-y.
We were saying earlier, in the amount of time it takes you to do all that, just do the assignment.
Right. Just go to work.
You know, you get tired of things, just whatever it is, someone saying the same word all the time, whatever. I'm so tired of hearing about this crap.
About AI.
I don't know, it's going to be the rest of my life.
I know.
But it's like, man, it's every single
It's finding its spot.
day.
And what did they expect people to do with it?
Right.
You can introduce anything for good, but when everyone has access to it, right, it's probably in the minority, but the people that are going to use it for the wrong purposes are probably going to use it first.
It's a universal corner cutter. Like, shoot, you can't get mad at students for doing it. There are people that are doing it all over the place that are using it to replace people all over the country.
Calculators, computers, automated.
Right.
I mean, right, it's just the new version of the same old thing, man.
Correct. It's a shift in our society. Yeah, it's coming.
But I'm not surprised. Can you believe students are using AI? I'm like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We just cheat.
I said, we cheated
just
different.
cheated.
Correct.
If I had, look, and this is just me, how I was as a student, God knows if I had AI, I would use AI for everything. I would not have done anything.
Right. Man, I used to go and buy, even just like with books.
Cliff Notes?
In college. When you had to buy your books for your classes, right? I would go to the bookstore and they had used books. So you could buy a brand new one or you could buy a used one. I would scan through every book in that freaking store until I found the one where someone highlighted stuff.
Yep.
Put notes in the book. I looked for one that was the most marked up one I could find. That way I could just skim through what that person thought was important.
You never read a chapter. You read the 3 paragraphs they highlighted.
Yes.
Right. How many people had get into a profession where it's not about what you know. The more you know doesn't matter. It's about how resourceful you are. That's what this is.
Yeah.
You know, even what you guys were doing, it's cheating. It's resourceful.
Sure.
You know, look at what we're doing. Like, I don't have to know anything. You ask me a question, I type it into Google, and I figure it out.
Yep.
I don't have to know anything.
And you don't.
That's right. I don't know a
Yeah,
damn
I
thing.
fully support what you're saying. You're the dumbest person I've ever met in my
I'm
life.
actually an AI robot. Like, I'm just a generated image on YouTube.
And look, man, you know, as much people go on about AI, there's sex dolls.
Absolutely.
I mean, just saying. Like, you find a workaround with anything.
See, yeah. Because there is some stuff about it that's cool, right?
Sure.
But even now, there's some serious things going on, and people are putting out AI photos that obviously, just given our career, I worry about it. So it's like a thin line of like how much I want to engage with it and don't.
Sure. Absolutely.
Have you ever read the AI chat GPT on our show?
No.
You've told me about this, and I actually want to check that out.
What?
Don't.
What do you mean? Does it just get worse? Is it translating what we're saying? Or
No, it just gives an overview. And then it'll give you an example of a joke I would say or a joke you would say. And you're just like, and my buddy was doing it. I was like, stop. I need a job.
Right.
Even when you get emails now, they have like the AI summary.
Yeah.
And I'll glance at it. I'm like, that is not the meat of what this email. Yes, that thing was said, but
correct.
That kind of has nothing to do. You know, Mike wants to know how you're feeling. It just says, hey, man, what's up? This has nothing to do. Mike did not ask me how I feel.
Mike inquired Steve on how he was feeling today.
Right, exactly. I'm like, well, sort of.
A new study found that being a night owl can be hard on your heart.
Well, that sucks.
And it wasn't saying the practice of being up late. It was more what comes with being up late. The things that
you
you're
get into.
doing while you're doing it.
Okay. I did not read the whole thing. I feel a little better.
Like what?
I'm not working on it, Ted. I'm just an AI image. I don't know what the hell it is. I just tell you what the information I've been given.
Subtract 15 years off your life. What were you doing late night then? That stuff. Like now, I'm just up late, but I'm not really doing anything. Before, when I was up late, because I couldn't sleep.
Oh, yeah. Like that stuff I found. If you're doing drugs or whatever.
I didn't say that.
Thrill, like, I don't know what it is. Like, I just stay up late.
Yeah. Oh,
I didn't do anything last night. Stayed up till 1 a.m. for no reason.
No reason at all.
Yeah. I podcast. There's a new podcast out.
KISW.com. Scientists warn that mosquitoes' thirst for human blood is increasing.
Why?
Don't ask me why. I don't know.
But how can it increase? That's been their livelihood as long as I've been alive.
Well, they've eaten other animals, man. We're tasting better these days. We're diabetic. We're sugary.
You think it's what we eat?
Gotta be.
Like, look, man, right. We'll bite any animal, but there's something about the hairless two-legged monkeys. They are freaking delicious. Absolutely delicious.
We're like the protein shake. Start your morning off right with a hairless two-legged monkey.
But like a flavored protein drink. You know what I mean? Right. It's like, no, dude, seriously. Like, they taste good.
We're like Coke.
Yeah, blood is blood, but they're delicious.
Well, he's right, though. Like, you ever had that Core Power?
No.
Protein drink? It's head and shoulders above the other ones.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So maybe we're like that to them.
Probably terrible for you, but who cares?
But again, though, I never liked them anyhow. They've been sucking blood as long as I've known them. Like, oh, it's increased. Has it?
Will we notice? Maybe that's the difference.
Guns have gotten more violent. Well, they only have one purpose.
Put your thinking caps on, Jen. It's time for the Merriam-Webster word of the day. I give you guys a 10% chance of success on this one. It is a noun brought to you by the letter B. It's It's a formal word that refers to speech or writing that is meant to sound important or impressive.
Bougie.
But that is not sincere or meaningful. I like bougie, but no, that's not
bougie.
it. It sounds Jamaican.
A bitchy.
I was going to say bull-ass, but let me think here.
Formal word that refers to speech or writing that is meant to sound important or impressive, but that is not sincere or meaningful.
Boisterous?
The word is bombast.
I would never have guessed that. Yeah, man.
I just think of bombastic.
You are very bombast.
Pornhub.
There's a cut, Mike. You're not wrong.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I'm with you. I heard it too.
Pornhub is about to become unavailable for many in the UK due to a new age verification requirement.
Is this them asking you?
No, I think they're trying. They had an issue with what they're doing with their age verification. I don't know if it's that they're not wanting to do it. I don't know if it's that they're doing something that's going further than what they're okay with. I don't know what the dispute is, but they're not coming to an agreement, so Pornhub is about to go down in the UK.
No pun intended.
Ayo.
I mean, look, by the time all this stuff happened, I was well over 18 years old. But again, if I were not, and you asked the question, am I access to boobies? Is that on the other side of the question? Yes,
well,
I am 18.
And the thing is that Pornhub is not the only place that they can go for boobies.
I know.
It's like Walmart closing its doors in the UK. Like, don't worry, they'll find where to get their stuff.
Oh, yeah.
There's lots of places. You were the most convenient, and your marketing was fantastic. But there's a lot of other places we can go.
I'll tell you right now, if the kids there are the same as they are here, which I imagine they are on many levels, Pornhub to them is like Facebook.
Sure.
They're like, okay, yeah, take that away. Whatever do we do? Keep going to the sites we've been visiting, fellas.
Right. How long before we get a porn website whose name does not reference porn whatsoever?
But don't you think people would get
pissed? I guarantee
pissed?
it already exists.
Oh, it does.
Just to fly under the radar?
Like, I'm not kidding. I watch porn. I have never been to Pornhub.
There you go.
Oh, you're missing out.
There's plenty of other sites.
Yeah.
Hell, you don't even need a site anymore. Just hop on social media.
Yeah, true.
Facts.
It ain't hard.
Facts. You know, as long as we're talking about luxuries, let's talk luxury foods. You good, Ted?
Yeah, I was saying it ain't hard to find.
Ayo. But when you find it, it is.
I was going to say, actually, though.
Let's talk luxury foods and how they came to be.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
So this comes to us via Listverse, one of my favorite websites out here, and it's 10 modern delicacies that started out, what do you know, as poverty rations.
Funny how that works.
As a lot of luxury dishes do.
Yep.
They start out as poverty rations. So let's start at number 10 on the list. They go with polenta. So after corn was introduced from the Americans to Italy, it became a staple crop because it was easy to grow in difficult soil. For centuries, the rural poor subsisted almost entirely on this cornmeal mush because they couldn't afford wheat or meat. The reliance on the polenta was so extreme that it led to a widespread health crisis known as pellagra, I believe, because the peasants were not processing the corn with lime. They suffered from severe niacin deficiencies and resulted in a peasant's disease. The modern transformation of polenta occurred when chefs began to experiment with textures and enrichment of the dish by adding large amounts of butter, Parmesan cheese, and cream.
Right.
And then it was elevated to a luxurious comfort food.
And crispy and delicious, if done right.
I don't know that I've ever had polenta.
It's not bad. I mean, it's fairly flavorless, but it's good. The little bit of flavor you get's good.
Think of like moist fried cornbread.
Yeah.
Okay, like corn, cheese, butter, I'm in.
Right. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, there's a place I know that has polenta fries. They're pretty good.
That sounds like it'd be fantastic.
And the worst thing that happens is that rich people discover good food because their food's trash, right?
Yep.
But they discover good food and then they ruin it for the rest of us because the price goes up.
Well, and
all of New Orleans is that.
Not just that, but fashion as well. You know, we talk about the Chuck Taylors all the doggone time.
Yeah.
That was Kmart's bargain bin, and now all of a sudden they're $80.
That is correct.
Back to more modern delicacies that started as poverty rations. Sushi. In ancient Japan, sushi was a method of preserving fish in fermented rice. The rice was actually not meant to be eaten at all. It served as a casing that produced lactic acid to keep the fish from spoiling. Once the fermentation process was complete, the pungent sour rice was discarded, and only the fish was consumed by laborers and villagers. Now, during the Edo period, sushi transitioned into a form of cheap street food for workers who needed a quick, portable meal. This version, known as nigiri, used fresh fish from the bay and vinegared rice to mimic the sour taste of traditional fermentation without the long wait. The global rise of sushi as a luxury item began after World War II when refrigeration technology improved.
Makes sense.
So there you go. And of course,
I didn't know that one.
Yeah.
I feel like I know most of them on this. I will know most of them on the list. I didn't know that about sushi.
You might. You will know this one, though. Very, very good French delicacy. Escargot.
They're
snails.
snails,
They're
brother.
snails, man.
The idea of spending an absorbent amount of money on that is insane to me.
And it's exactly what you think it is. For centuries, snails were a famine food for French peasants who lacked access to traditional livestock. And because snails were abundant in vineyards and required no land or feed to maintain, they provided a free and accessible source of protein during periods of crop failure.
Yeah.
You literally could just pick them up and eat them.
And butter and garlic, man. Delicious.
The transition to a delicacy began in the early 19th century when a chef served snails to Tsar Alexander I, which... Bold move, Cotton.
Yeah.
By stuffing the shells with high-quality butter, garlic, and parsley, they transformed the muddy taste of the snail into a vehicle for rich flavors.
Anytime I see it, I'll order it. Every single time.
I had the one time, I'm good.
They're fine. I just won't pay the money for it because I'm like, they're snails, brother.
Right.
I mean, come on, man.
Come on.
Like that's.
If they do it right, though, they have like a crunchy top, like a creme brulee.
Sure.
They kind of drop them down in those little holes with the butter.
10 modern delicacies that started as poverty rations. One that's come up in my life here after I met a certain woman, quinoa. Before the Spanish conquest, it was a sacred staple of the Incan Empire. Now, when the Spanish arrived, they viewed quinoa as a pagan crop and a symbol of indigenous identity. They discouraged its cultivation and replaced it with European wheat as a part of a broader effort to reshape local diets and culture. They were moving in.
Yeah.
As a result, quinoa was
the
pushed...
equivalent of putting a Starbucks in the neighborhood.
There you go. The quinoa was pushed to the margins of society and became associated with the lowly indigenous farmers of the high Andes. Global boom in early 2000s completely inverted this social hierarchy. Western demand for gluten-free, high-protein grains caused the price of quinoa to skyrocket. And ironically, it made the former peasant food too expensive for the very people who had preserved it for centuries.
Yeah. And in the end, it's quinoa.
I don't know, but I just don't think of that as a high-end food.
Neither do I.
It's
right?
not
It's
so
just
much
a
that it's
different way to
high-end
get,
food.
like you said, like dietary
and shove
stuff.
grain, but people will spend money on it. And, you know, most of the time you see quinoa on a menu, they serve it with something quote-unquote fancy.
Right.
It's not like grilled cheese with quinoa on the side, right? It's always quinoa, and then whatever it's with is something that sounds all sparkly and all that.
Shout out to that quinoa salad at Costco, dude. It is so good.
Yes,
I love
sir.
that thing.
Modern delicacies that started as poverty rations. When you reach the upper echelons, you're rich. What food is always at these parties?
Lobster.
Caviar. You're absolutely right.
Damn
Ted.
it.
Well, caviar is...
I know it's on that list.
It was once so common in Russia that it was sold by the bucket. Sturgeon eggs were considered a byproduct of fishing because the eggs spoiled quickly. They were a cheap, salty snack for laborers. In the 19th century United States, caviar was so undervalued that it was served for free in saloons. The shift to luxury status occurred through aristocratic endorsement and environmental collapse.
Ted, just, you know, someone on YouTube already said lobster.
Okay. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. I just thought I was right on that one. Caviar, by the way,
Overrated.
yeah.
And it's not like you get full on it.
Right.
Like, to me, if you're giving me food, it should contribute to my stomach being full, and it's not that good.
No, I can just put a lot of salt on something for you.
Dip it in seawater and boom.
Give me a tapenade. I'm fine.
I like tapenade.
Oyster. I love tapenade. Oysters.
There you go.
Mid-19th century, oysters were the ultimate street food of New York and London. They were so plentiful that they were sold from stalls on nearly every corner for just a few pennies a dozen. For the working class, oysters were a primary source of protein that was cheaper than beef or pork. They were often used as a filler in meat pies to bulk up meals without increasing the cost.
Yeah.
There's a famous statue in London of a cat eating an oyster.
Oh, no kidding.
Because they fed it to this cat all the time. They would just get the oysters out of the River Thames.
Damn.
That's why they call the sandwich a po' boy.
Which
Which now costs a bunch.
This era of abundance ended when industrial pollution and over-harvesting decimated the oyster beds. As the once clean waters of the Hudson and Thames River became contaminated or stripped bare, the supply collapsed, and they transformed from a cheap caloric filler into a rare, high-risk luxury. Ted, when you reach the upper echelons of money, what is always at all these parties?
Lobster!
You're damn right it's lobster!
Let's go!
Perhaps the most famous example of a trash food that climbed the social ladder in colonial New England, lobsters were so numerous that they were routinely washed up on shore in piles 2 feet high after storms. Regarded as sea insects and considered fit only for the most desperate members of society. In fact, having lobster shells in your yard was seen as a sign of extreme poverty, signaling that you could not afford real meat.
I don't care.
The reputation of lobster was so low that it was frequently used as fertilizer for fields or as bait for more desirable fish. Laws were passed in Massachusetts towns limiting how often prisoners could be fed lobster, as it was considered cruel and unusual punishment.
Instead, I used to feed lobster to prisoners. I want to say like the first Thanksgiving meal, first couple of them. It was all
Right.
venison and lobster.
Yeah.
The change began with the advent of the railway and the canning industry. People living inland who had never seen a lobster and were unaware of its low status found the canned meat to be absolutely delicious. And chefs soon realized that when drenched in delicious butter and served in a refined setting, the so-called sea insect could be sold at a premium.
You notice how butter keeps showing up here?
Yes.
This is garbage. Put it in good butter.
Butter on it. And then I'll leave you with this last and final modern delicacy that started as poverty rations. I had so many sandwiches of bluefin tuna. It was probably not bluefin. Today, a single bluefin tuna can sell for more than $1 million at auction, but for most of history, it was considered nearly inedible. In the early 20th century, Japanese fishermen viewed it as an inferior fish. It was often buried as fertilizer or relegated to cat food. Bluefin was a lowly catch that often required heavy marination just to make it palatable. The dramatic reversal in status occurred during the 1970s with the rise of international air travel and changing global diets. As people grew accustomed to fattier foods like beef, the rich texture of bluefin tuna suddenly became desirable.
You know, it's funny because, like, Southern barbecue, same thing, right? You give broke people the crappiest meat, so they cook it slow. You know, brisket and all that. Nobody was dying for brisket. Now you kill for brisket.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Pretty much everything in New Orleans, like when you go to the French Quarter, because all the rich people lived out in the Garden District, they had the plantations and all this stuff. All the broke people were just shoved into the French Quarter, but as a result, you know, like 18 different ethnicities. They had to figure out a way to coexist. They started trading spices, trading recipes, and they created what we know to be New Orleans food, which now commands this high price. And I'm like, broke people invented this. Leave it alone.
Crayfish.
Right, exactly. The idea of paying to eat that is insane to me.
A man in India wanted to get into the local medical school, but he may have taken it to the extreme, Miles.
What was that extreme?
Tell about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Quick time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve at Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast a man by the name of Larry Shea. Now, I'm not sure where Larry is from, but he is a self-professed and so-called golf bettor. His issue is that he's not a very good one. So last week, he guaranteed on social media, so that millions of people can see the posts, that pro golfer, one Scotty Scheffler, would not win a golf tournament in California. If you know anything about golf, I think that's a bad bet. But nevertheless, he bet against Scotty Scheffler. Well, he posted, quote, if Scotty Scheffler wins this week, I will only eat Wendy's chili for a month. It's not happening, folks. Zero chance. Well, Scotty won. And Larry says that he will hold himself to his word. So in a video update, he admitted that he was wrong. He congratulated Scotty, who does not care. And then he added, quote, the only thing I'm going to be eating until February 25th for breakfast, lunch, and dinner is Wendy's chili. No cheese, no crackers, just the chili. So far, he has still made good on his bet.
How about he'll lose weight?
His only regret so far is that he wish he had done the crackers. He's just doing the chili for all three meals, and he does admit that his bowels are not particularly happy.
That's what would be the hardest part.
Yeah, that is pretty much what he said.
Like, softest.
Because he said, look, I'm going to be honest with you, Wendy's chili is actually really good. It's like, I did not realize how good it was. 3 meals a day, not that good, but my bowels are not in a good place. And it won't be until February 26th. So, in honor of this
no Valentine for you.
And yeah, no kidding, man. Hope you're already married.
Going to a Super Bowl party, just eating chili.
Just eat Wendy's chili. That is correct. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bijola.
With comprehensive reports on local schools you won't find anywhere else, Homes.com is the only place to find the in-depth info home shoppers want. Very in-depth info. Curious about where a school ranks in the state? Look no further. Percentage of teachers in their first or second year? We've got it. Lowest student-teacher ratio? No problem. The best cafeteria lunch in the district for your 9-year-old food blogger? Would it surprise you if we said yes? Homes.com. Ding dong. We've done your homework.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
I can't believe they're having a gender reveal for their dog. No. This is a breed reveal. Oh, so... yeah, they're finding out the breed of the puppy they're rescuing. So they could just be spending all their money on, like, pet insurance instead. We got Lemonade for Roscoe, and it covered vaccines, microchipping. We saved 90% on vet bills. Here we go. What do you think beige confetti means? I don't know. That we'll never get this Saturday back? Get a quote for any breed at lemonade.com/pet.
I'm Dr. Mary Claire Haver. Ready for honest conversations about thriving in midlife? Listen to and follow my new podcast, Unpaused, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Homes.com is the only place where you can find specialized neighborhood guides with the in-depth insider info home shoppers want. Very in-depth info. Want to know if there's homes for sale in the area? We've got it. How long has a home been on the market? We'll know it. Average lot size? Proximity to local parks? Of course. Insight into your neighbor's divorce? We're working on it. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
What you heard right there was the power of audio. And audio is what we do at Odyssey. That true crime podcast you spent hours listening to, we produced that. That radio station where you discovered your favorite artists, that's our station. That weird playlist of bongo music, we ain't judging. One of our curators made that. Advertise with Odyssey. We can get your message in front of a broad or targeted audience. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhook, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
Oh, sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Will. Welcome to the Men's Room. Hola. All right, Will, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. You have your choice of one of three categories today. We offer you Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem. Hit Me With Your Best Shot, where you guess the unconventional object that someone chose to use as a weapon. And finally today, License to Spill, where you guess the substance responsible for creating the mess.
Let's go. Hit me with your best shot.
All right, we have a 28-year-old man in Florida named Austin Simmons. He was arrested for felony battery after hitting someone with something at a bus terminal. Now, police say he was, quote-unquote, out of it, looked like he'd passed out. So someone went over to check on him. That person was a guy named Carlos. Well, when he roused Austin freaked out and threw an object at Carlos. Now, it might seem minor, but still, it was an attack. Now, the police showed up and arrested Austin for battery. It would normally be a misdemeanor, but he had a previous battery conviction on his record, so it was upgraded to a felony. Officers also found a small amount of cocaine on him, so he also got hit with possession of a controlled substance, and he's facing up to 5 years in prison. The question is, what did he hit the man with? Did he hit him with his used tissue? Did he hit him with a used Band-Aid? Did he hit him with a packet of ketchup? Or did he hit him with a fully wrapped cheeseburger?
What was the last one?
A fully wrapped cheeseburger.
You said Florida.
That is correct, sir.
Thrill, what are you thinking?
Well, I know
He
the
knows
answer,
the answer.
so I'm not going to tell you, but well played, sir. Well played.
Does crack cocaine count as just a small amount of cocaine, or would they say crack?
If it's cocaine, it's cocaine. Crack's crack.
All right.
Oh, they'll always say crack cocaine, but if it's coke, right, it's just straight coke.
Seems odd this guy has powdered cocaine on him.
And he's passed out. Those two things rarely go hand in hand.
I'm going to go cheeseburger just because of the crack.
He didn't have crack. He had powdered
yeah,
cocaine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go used Band-Aid.
Ooh, all right. I'm going used tissue.
Used tissue.
Yeah, because if the guy was upset that he got hit with a tissue, I guess there was blood in it.
It might be blood. I was thinking snot, but all right.
Well, he's doing coke and he's living on the street.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
What did he throw this guy? Used tissue, a used Band-Aid, a packet of ketchup, or a cheeseburger? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's.
With comprehensive reports on local schools you won't find anywhere else, Homes.com is the only place to find the in-depth info home shoppers want. Very in-depth info. Curious about where a school ranks in the state? Look no further. Percentage of teachers in their first or second year? We've got it. Lowest student-teacher ratio? No problem. The best cafeteria lunch in the district for your 9-year-old food blogger? Would it surprise you if we said yes? Homes.com. Ding dong. We've done your homework.
What you heard right there was the power of audio. And audio is what we do at Odyssey. That true crime podcast you spent hours listening to, we produced that. That radio station where you discovered your favorite artists, that's our station. That weird playlist of bongo music, we ain't judging. One of our curators made that. Advertise with Odyssey. We can get your message in front of a broad or targeted audience. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Start the new year in drive during the construction sale at Kendall Chevrolet of Marysville. We've moved just a few blocks south to our brand new location. Just head down 33rd Avenue and check out the deals. We're still working on the remodel, but we're open during construction and stocked up with construction sale deals on Silverado trucks and Chevy SUVs. Chevy, together, let's drive. Stop by the new location of Kendall Chevrolet of Marysville, just down 33rd Avenue across Marine Drive. Kendall, let's start something great.
Through. Category, hit me with your best shot on profile. It's got a Florida man arrested after hitting someone with an object at a bus stop.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently he was out of it. They did find cocaine on him. The question is, what did he attack this guy with? Or throw at him? Was it a used tissue, a used Band-Aid, a packet of ketchup, or a cheeseburger?
And, well, that is the very question that we posed to you. Let us start with Miles Montgomery. Went with the old used Band-Aid. It was not a used Band-Aid. Ted went with the used tissue.
Yeah.
It was bloody because of the cocaine use.
No.
Well, that leaves you with the burger and
a packet of ketchup.
A packet of ketchup. That's it. He threw a pack of ketchup at the guy, but because he's assaulted someone before, it's now a felony. Damn. For a packet. Okay, not a ketchup bottle, just that little.
Was he still aggressive or just threw it? I don't know that I'd call the cops if somebody threw an unopened packet of ketchup.
That's part of it. So this guy went over to see if this dude was okay. It's passed out on the bench. He didn't know if he's alive, whatever. Guy wakes up, quote unquote, freaks out, and all he did was throw the packet of ketchup. And that inspired the guy to call the cops. Damn. Yep.
That's why people don't do nothing.
What do you mean?
Well, next time, just walk by him, I guess.
Instead of trying to help him and wake him up, see if he's okay.
You were assaulted with a packet of ketchup. It wasn't even an open packet, man.
Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today. You got the Jimmys.
Fallon and Kimmel.
Colbert.
Steven.
Seth Meyers. Or Ted Smith.
Anthony.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there. The title is guys have teams and talents and writers help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom? Or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
It's been so cold across the country that Disney World and Universal Studios have shut down their water parks to guests. But if you need parks to tell you not to have your kids at a water park when temperatures are in the low 40s, you're probably already a bad parent.
The Ted Smith.
Yeah. I wrote it better than that.
No, but you make a good point.
So you're probably not a good parent to start with. That would sound more like what they would say.
Kids don't care about the water temperature.
I know.
That's one thing I've noticed in my lifetime. It could be free. It could be ice. They don't care.
You say that, but you're talking 60s and 70s, dude. It's been 35.
Oh, I know. No,
it's been 35.
I'm saying as a parent, it doesn't matter.
Even kids.
No.
Yeah.
You're not getting in.
People are like, can you believe us? They closed those. It's like, water
Yes!
parks.
I watch my kids jump into Lake Washington. I'm like, you're nuts.
This country is in winter's icy grip, and the big freeze isn't over yet. 173 million Americans are under extreme cold warnings. Extreme cold warnings are just like regular cold warnings, except they come in Baja Blast.
Colbert?
Yeah, Colbert.
There's Colbert.
This country is in winter's icy grip, and the big freeze isn't over yet. 173 million Americans are under extreme cold warnings. Now, extreme cold warnings are like regular cold warnings, except they come in Baja Blast.
A class action lawsuit is being paid out because Siri listened to customers' conversations. People are like, I feel so violated. Then went back to their therapy session with ChatGPT.
What's his face? Fallon.
Yeah, say Fallon.
Fallon.
And we'll get this, a class action settlement is now being paid out to iPhone users who claim Siri eavesdropped on their conversations. Ooh. People were like, I feel so violated, and then went back to their therapy session with ChatGPT. It's like,
you put a giant microphone in your house, and you're shocked that it's listening to you. Okay.
Correct. I turn off the microphone on my podcast setup when I don't use it.
I mean, look, man, what was that like? What's his face?
The computer's not even on.
Facebook dude, Zuckerberg. What was it, like 5 years ago? There's a picture of him doing whatever.
Oh, with tape over stuff?
Yeah, tape over the microphone and the camera. I'm like, if he does not trust it, why would you?
Taco Bell has a new Hidden Valley Diablo Ranch sauce, which combines ranch with their Diablo hot sauce. So now the bathroom is for anyone but customers.
Seth.
Yeah, Seth Meyers.
That's Seth Meyers.
Taco Bell's unveiled a new Hidden Valley Diablo Ranch sauce, which combines ranch with its Diablo hot sauce. So now the bathroom is for anyone but customers.
There's a lot of stuff going on in this country, but like, that's too extreme.
What, Diablo and ranch?
The point of the ranch is to cool off your hot mouth.
Sure.
Why make the ranch spicy?
It's a little bit of both, man. See, I'm down with the idea.
Me too.
What do you think about is Chili's TGI Fridays? Keep talking about the cheeseburger that is then served in hot cheese.
I think it's Applebee's.
Is it Applebee's?
Yeah.
It's too much. Yeah, you already got it. And look, I love cheese. I love cheese, man. But like, you already got a cheeseburger.
Look. No, hang on.
What?
You're getting away. The point of the ranch is to cool off the spiciness. So what is the point of the ranch
Did
now?
you have
spice in it?
Did you have the Buffalo Ranch at McDonald's? Limited time only?
No.
Fantastic.
But look, some people
It was
just like
so
ranch
good.
for the taste. I know you have the delicate palate there when it comes to the spicy. But like when I dip my wings in ranch, it's not to cool it down. It's just because
It's the
tastes
flavor
good.
combination.
I mean, and you're right. It serves as Don't get upset. Do not get
I
upset.
just think,
No,
look,
I'm looking at your face.
I fathom how it works, and some of the buffalo sauce gets in your ranch.
Right.
Does make a little combo. But ideally, the ranch was served with them to cool them down.
If you could get a shot, if you could go to the doctor and they'd say, Ted, we can give you a shot and spicy food will not bother you anymore, would you do it?
Oh, well, sure.
Okay.
I still want to eat spicy ranch.
You want to.
bet you would.
I think you're just mad because you can't eat it.
I'm mad about a lot of stuff.
I think you're lying. I think you'd eat the F out of that.
I just think we're going too far,
See,
man.
But the cheeseburger served in a bowl of more cheese, that's okay.
With food in my world, I can eat whatever I want. Now, if I like it or not is different, but I can sure eat it. I can sure give it a try. You can't even get in there. I got those spicy Doritos. I thought you were going to kill me.
They were pretty spicy, man. To be honest with you.
I had to do it on New Year's Day. And one buddy was like, I got chips in my house. I said, do you have anything not spicy this time?
Those delicious jalapeno Tims.
Yeah.
God, those are good.
There's so many things you can't
Are
eat.
those too much for the jalapeno?
And also, too, whenever they come out with new flavors, it's always on the hot end. Like, it's never some
No
alternative
one
thing.
introduces a flavor that dials it down.
Well,
It's
nothing
always
for you. Like, not a honey mustard
Right, like
thing.
Cheetos. It's like, hey, we got fiery Cheeto, or what do they call it? Like flaming Cheetos.
Yeah, flaming Cheetos.
Why don't you make like an extra Cheeto with like an egregious amount of Cheeto?
Or like white.
That's what I would buy.
like white cheddar or something different. Something in your palate.
Yeah.
That's why you're mad.
just saying. Well, speaking of food,
Have you ever had a buffalo sauce cheese?
Yes.
Where they put the buffalo sauce in the cheese and it's kind of like marble looking.
Brother, seriously.
It's got like the orange lines going through.
all right,
it.
I'll try it.
I was going to say, don't kid yourself out of that one, brother.
Yeah,
Take the pain.
You can do that.
Do you guys ever eat something hot and then kind of go,
Yeah, every once in a while.
Not
right?
really.
But you're not choking.
No.
No, it's just the heat.
But it seems like you're choking. So do we have the Heimlich maneuver to thank from Happy Days?
Say what now?
It's called a transition, Mike. Just happened. job, Dad.
No speaking of food.
Well, I said we were talking about food, then I got you guys to do it.
Choking.
Choking. All right. So Dr. Heimlich,
Brilliant.
the guy that played Potsy.
Oh, yeah.
Ralph.
No, that's
Anson
Ralph. the-
Williams.
So it was Ralph
Thank you.
Mouth and Potsy. That's right.
Yeah.
He
You know
was
he got
second
Ralph Malph.
cousins with Dr. Heimlich. They always referred to him as an uncle. After the Heimlich was invented in 1974, Williams used his Hollywood connections to get Dr. Heimlich on the Merv Griffin show, where he demonstrated it for millions of people. So basically,
That is a big deal.
I did not realize it was that quote unquote new of a maneuver. What?
It was during the happy days.
How many people died before he came
Yeah,
up
but
with that?
Ted, you actually done this.
Because it's food. Typically, when you're doing the Heimlich, someone's choking on food. We've been eating, for 10,000 years, as long as we've been around. So only in 1974, like, hey, I think I finally figured
Mike, you
something out.
took first aid and life saving in Boy Scouts. You
I
never
did.
had to save anyone's life with a Heimlich. Ted, you've done it twice.
These are facts.
yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. I mean, the one time I saved that child, to me, I had having
Maybe
done
she'll
it,
come up to you when she graduates, like, thank you, Ted.
having
I've been
done it
looking for
once
you.
before.
You saved my life.
It did seem that shocking, but then the guy I was with, he was like, "Man, how did you know?" And I was like, "Well, the kid was clearly choking." And he's like, "I was frozen." I was like, "All right."
Watch Happy Days.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's the whole story.
Cut the
Happy
hot dog
day.
up, Dad.
Damn it. Hey, what can I say? There's firemen and there's Ted Smith. We're out here saving lives. God
None of
bless.
them wearing capes.
Step back, everyone. I've got this. I'm Ted Smith.
I've done the Heimlich twice.
Yeah.
It was
This will be my
invented
third
in
time.
1974.
You know, when you get a third time, you get a medal.
Do you remember Potsy from Happy Days? Yeah.
I feel like I should have gotten a free mozzarella stick. That kid was choking on a mozzarella stick.
They didn't hook you up at all.
Actually, I should say that. I like that
The
place.
Triple Crown of Heimlich goes to the Ted Smith.
I hope I never have to do it again. But you read stories.
You know
where
you will.
People die in restaurants choking, and it's like nobody in there knows how to do it. I mean,
No, I
even,
think they do.
Do you know self Heimlich?
I believe with a chair.
That's correct.
You
What do you
guys
do?
still think
Last time I looked.
yeah.
What do you do?
Like
you
put a chair in
and
your
you lean it, and
diaphragm.
you stick it in your diaphragm, and you just try to jam it as much as you can.
Okay.
Underneath your ribcage.
The last time I was somewhat worried about something I was choking on, I just pulled the trigger and got it out.
What do you mean, pull the trigger?
Put your finger in your throat.
You put your finger back there.
Yeah.
Would you poke it down or pull it out?
It just made me puke.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
Right. Then just stuff it down into your gut or force it out of your mouth.
I don't want to waste this.
Yeah, it tastes too good.
I might die or I would eat it.
The worst thing is, it was a little gel or like a tab that you devolves of ashwagandha or whatever.
I know you're talking.
It's like a root that's supposed to be good and make your brain happy.
Yeah, it's an Aaron Rodgers thing.
No, he drinks ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
That's
So
different.
what is this?
It's another root.
Is this an Instagram ad that you buy?
No, well,
Mushroom coffee.
yeah. The main thing is, like, I didn't choke, but then I had to walk out of that bathroom and just look around this bar and be like, I hope nobody heard me, and they're almost dying.
Oh, were you like,
Oh, you got up and went in. Like you were like quick on the
Yeah.
step. All right.
And I was 10 seconds from having to open the door and be like, ow, which I didn't want to do.
What was in there?
That little gel cap.
It was just a gel cap?
Yes.
A gel cap.
Yeah, man.
I mean, they're designed specifically to just go down.
Yeah, I know.
Did
You
it
got
get
that
stuck?
teeny tiny throat?
Yeah, I probably, like, in the,
You need a blender for your food at home, just in case. Get a Vitamix. Cheeseburger. I'm drinking it. Get your 19-cent dicks. Just put it in a blender. Drink it down like a smoothie.
I am going to go get my 19-cent stick
put the
cheeseburger
fries in
today.
there. Put it all in there, just in case.
I told you, sometimes after a few beers, I got to consciously in my head
the
go,
pickle
Ted,
on that
chew.
cheeseburger is bigger than that pill.
Ted, chew. Man. Jelly roll. Mike, you would know this. You watch WWE.
Another food segue.
That one wasn't as smooth. Apparently, now that he's doing some of the WWE, he took his training very seriously. He moved down to Orlando and rented 2 houses, one for his family, one for his crew, trained all day, then wrote and recorded music at night.
Cool.
Is he going to be all big and buff by the time this is done?
Maybe.
Because he dropped a ton of weight, but now he's doing that kind of training. Like, okay, that's something entirely different.
I'll tell you what he's doing next, probably skin surgery.
Yeah.
My sister had that done. She said it sucked.
Well, sure.
Just the pain involved. So it was awful. Like compression bandages, all these things all the time. I was like, yeah, that sounds like the worst part of losing weight.
It is tough, yeah. Well, I mean, I've heard it looks super painful. And the crazy thing is like that's the last cosmetic thing you'd want to get rid of.
But it's not cosmetic. It should be medical because you had a medical condition where you needed to lose the weight. Now you have this. But
I
consider that medical. They consider that cosmetic.
Yeah, it's ridiculous out there, man. Let's see. You going to watch something tonight? Watch a little of The Masked Singer. You never know who's in there, Mike.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. A retirement home in Germany wakes up to an American soldier wearing no pants.
Yeah.
To Florida, where a homeowner finds a 9-foot boa constrictor hiding in his plants. Meanwhile, an Orlando teen carjacks a woman so he could go see his grandma. A man in India wanted to go to medical school, so he chops off one of his paws. And a kid in England breaks 2 Guinness World Records playing pool before turning the age of 3. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cock.
Our top story. We go to India, where medical school is very, very important. A young man in the country had a dream of becoming a doctor and making his family proud. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to best his competition and failed the school admissions test twice. But he wasn't ready to give up just yet. Local police are getting involved after the young man came back to the school attempting to gain admission through their disability quota. As luck would have it, following his failure of the test, his brother had reported to police that the student was a victim of an assault by an unknown assailant who amputated his foot.
To get disability to go to the school.
A short investigation found evidence contrary to his story of being attacked and is now being accused of removing his own foot to gain entry into the school, though nobody really knows if there's any legal action that can be taken against him.
I mean, the school can just deny him.
Pretty much.
I get that. That's how you get. It's like, look, I'm not here to learn anything. Or, let me rephrase that. I am not mentally equipped to pass your test to get in, so I'm going to chop off my foot to get in.
Exactly.
That's stupid all the way around.
Under the disability quota.
Jesus, man.
Yeah, he was saying that he got attacked, and they used some blade to hack off his foot. They were like, this is too straight of a cut for a bunch of randos in an alleyway that attacked you and cut off your foot for no discernible reason.
Were you attacked by a surgeon?
Right. Yes. To Florida, where pest control reaches a whole new level. Authorities were called by a local resident after they went out to their yard to find a 9-foot boa constrictor lurking in their lawn.
That's a big one.
A sheriff's deputy was given the task of arriving on the scene to wrangle the serpent, which he was able to do without incident. Though he did take a photo of the beast to post to their social media pages, the animal was turned over to animal control and will be safely relocated.
To where? Right, where you taking it?
Right. Isn't it native there? Don't they have native doggone boa constrictors there?
I mean, they weren't originally native, but now they're...
Native enough.
Native enough, yeah. I mean, they have anacondas.
Yeah.
They have pythons. If you have an animal, they've dumped it in the Okeechobee Swamp.
My mom was always scared of snakes. We had a garter snake in the backyard one time. She's freaking out. I'm like, dude, it's not venom. Don't care. Get rid of the snake.
Sure.
She went in the house. Can't bear to look at it. I grabbed the thing, threw it over the fence into the neighbor's yard.
There you go.
I walk in. She's like, what'd you do with the snake? I said, it's gone. Mothers being mothers, like, did you throw it over the goddamn fence in the neighbor's yard? I'm like, okay, I did, but listen.
It's gone.
Oh, yeah. She was not pleased.
Not our
My
problem.
buddy Will, he had a battle, man. He had one going up his driveway, and I don't know what kind of snake it was, but he only had a kid's plastic shovel.
That's not going to do it.
It took 3 whacks.
3?
Yeah.
I'm surprised he got that done. With a crowd gathered around. Go, Will.
Well, same thing. The kids are screaming. He's out there. And he says he tries, and then it keeps coming up. He's like, Jesus.
Just put it out already.
Still a dad.
Still in Florida, an 18-year-old is behind bars for wanting to see his grandmother. A woman was sitting in her parked car talking on the phone when she was approached by the young man wearing a ski mask. He held her at gunpoint, apologizing for the intrusion, but insisting that he had to take her car as he was trying to see his grandma. The victim attempted to get him to his grandmother's home by another means, even going so far as to offer him a ride, but he insisted that would not work. He has to steal the car. Eventually, she caved, relinquishing her car to the thief, who promised to bring it back before zooming off. Didn't take long for officers to track down the young carjacker, who had already managed to crash their vehicle into another car that was on a lawn, and he was arrested. He's currently locked up in county, facing some serious charges.
Why does anywhere in the state of Florida sell ski masks?
Yeah, no kidding.
Please tell me you order that off Amazon. Like, look, if I'm in Florida and someone buys a ski mask, I'm like, where do you plan on robbing, son? There's no need for this.
Right.
Right?
Where in the world are you going to go skiing with that doggone thing?
It's Florida. You're buying a ski mask.
Well, and I like it. She's like, I'll drive you there. What's the address? No, give me the car. Like, I'm going to get you there. Like, come on, man. No, I need to steal it. To Germany, where American soldiers like to take a nap. A local retirement home was the scene of an embarrassing incident as one of the employees was delivering breakfast to the residents. As they distributed food throughout the rooms, they noticed something off about one of their available rooms, mainly that somebody was inside that didn't belong there. Upon investigation, it turned out to be an American soldier, believed to have snuck in during a change in shifts. He was found intoxicated, with no pants on, passed out in the unit. An investigation has been launched in the incident, and nothing was reported as damaged.
Yeah,
This is a bad incident.
It's fine. It's just you're in the military, so I'm sure when he has to go face is going to be a nightmare.
Correct.
But, like, who hasn't done that? Or something similar.
Just accidentally ended up in a place that you had zero intention or knowledge of being.
With no pants on, yes.
Yeah.
All of that. I'm just not in the military, so it was different.
I apologize to you 3 times, dude. Just let it go, Mike. My bad.
But just in case those stories have a bad taste in your mouth.
Thankfully, there's good news.
We go to England for a very impressive toddler. Guinness World Records has recognized a local 2-year-old as the youngest person to not only play pool, but to make a snooker double pot. The double pot is when 2 balls are legally potted with a single strike of the cue ball into different pockets. And he's also broken the world record for youngest person to make a bank shot.
And the thing is, he's doing it on purpose.
Right.
Right.
And he's how old? 2?
He's not quite 3, so
Yeah.
high 2s.
Yeah, when he marked that second one, he was about 60 days from his 3rd birthday.
I've also heard he's been playing so much snooker, he's the youngest guy ever to split the G.
That's right. The young man's father admitted that he knew that he would excel at the game the very first time that he picked up a cue. That's putting it lightly.
It just pisses me off that I know this kid can come to my home, go on the pool table,
And school
beat
ya.
my ass.
Also,
tall enough to shoot?
snooker's a lot harder than pool.
It is.
Right.
Weird
I
rules.
mean, you got a smaller tip. Yeah.
He gets up on the table.
Yeah, the kid's like leaning on the table.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Still.
Speaking of sports,
Not as impressive.
that's a segue, Ted. Speaking of what tonight, you got basketball over on ESPN, college hoops on FS1 and CBS Sports, and hockey over on TNT and True TV. The Torrents are also currently underway over against Ottawa over on Fox 13+. As far as weather, the rain is upon us, gentlemen. Expecting periods of rain tonight with a low of 47. Tomorrow we've got more rain in the forecast and a high right around 53. That's it for your headlines with that. Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, sir. We'll see you next time for the head chef. Ted's Meat and Potatoes is back, and the game known as Big Dummy, the lovely Jolene, is up in seconds.
Yes, indeed. It is all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until tomorrow, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
At Homes.com, we do whatever it takes to get you the in-depth info on local schools you won't find anywhere else. Things like student-teacher ratio, test scores, and school programs. And sometimes that requires attending school recitals. So many recitals.
That's my son. Isn't he terrific?
Yeah, a real prodigy. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
You know your customers. Ralph likes his coffee black on Fridays, but Mondays he takes a little cream. Jennifer comes in every 3 years when her lease is up to get the newer and better model. And for some reason, pepperoni pizza sells like crazy on Friday nights. Who knew? At Odyssey, we have the expertise to get your media plan done right. With ads like you're hearing right now, to targeted social media campaigns, search engine optimization, and location-based advertising. Advertise with Odyssey and help us grow your business. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Start the new year in drive during the construction sale at Kendall Chevrolet of Marysville. We've moved just a few blocks south to our brand new location. Just head down 33rd Avenue and check out the deals. We're still working on the remodel, but we're open during construction and stocked up with construction sale deals on Silverado trucks and Chevy SUVs. Chevy, together, let's drive. Stop by the new location of Kendall Chevrolet of Marysville, just down 33rd Avenue across Marine Drive. Kendall, let's start something great.
I'm Dr. Mary Claire Haver, and my new podcast, Unpaused, is the place for bold, unfiltered conversations about what it takes for women to thrive in the second half of life. Listen to and follow Unpaused, available now wherever you get your podcasts.